In this 3-hour course, I will take you through how to build AI agents, how to use AI to build apps for you, and how to code with the help of AI. In other words, you're going to become an AI GigaChad by the end of this course. You will first watch how I will learn to build AI agents solo if I had to start over, then how to use N8N to build powerful AI agents and workflows, then how to use AI tools like Manus and Codex to build entire apps for you, and finally, how to code with AI. Be sure to grab your favorite drink, open up your laptop, and let's get to work. I'm going to provide you a complete roadmap that I would follow if I were to start over my AI agent development journey today. For context, I have been on this journey coding all sorts of agents for about 4 years now, earning nearly $300,000 and being featured on Business Insider for my work. So when I say I know a thing or two about building AI agents, I mean it. But before we get into the 7 steps of creating the best possible agents and earning 5 figures a month from it, why should you even learn this? Like, why care? Well, listen to this.
I think we're going to live in a world where there are going to be hundreds of millions of billions of different AI agents. I think that every business in the future, just like they have an email address and a website and a social media presence today, I think every business is going to have an AI agent that their customers can talk to in the future.
It's real. The hype is real. AI agents have been printing developers money, with some developers starting entire companies revolving around a single AI agent that can do a task. From YC to venture capital firms, all the investors are throwing money at these AI agent startups because they're all having FOMO. They all want to get in on this hype. When you have every tech CEO talking about it, of course, the investors at these big companies are going to be like, maybe I want someone to create AI agents for me. Or I want to invest in an AI agent that's going to make me millions. And as this growing trend of AI agents is looming, a lot of people are getting scared that their jobs are going to be replaced. And the harsh reality is that's true. And the ones who actually adapt to this and learn how to create these agents that are going to replace these jobs, they're the ones who are going to forever be employed and still have an ability to make a large sum of money every single month. Because, hey, your job can't be replaced if you're the one creating the agents. And even if you don't want to learn how to make agents to earn money, you can use it for your own needs. For example, you can use an agent to book your next trip to the Maldives all for you. You can use an agent to plan your entire week through Google Calendar. You can literally use an agent for anything on the internet. But with all this hype, there's a lot of confusion. People think that any tool that can automate something is automatically an AI agent, when this is not true. So let's clear this up. There are 2 real types of agents. You have AI agents and then you have web agents. So what is the difference? A web agent is any tool that automates something on a website, right? This can be such as buying an item off of a store like Nike, or booking a shift off some shift booking website, or checking the weather even. These are all web agents. They don't necessarily have to use AI. While AI agents use some sort of LLM like GPT-4o or DeepSeek to make educated decisions and do educated operations that would need human reasoning or human logic. So here's a quick example. Let's say you are a YouTuber and you write your YouTube video script. Now you want to maybe create this into a LinkedIn post just because of you're trying to grow your personal brand. So in this case, yes, you can readapt your script and write out a new LinkedIn post based off of it, which will take you maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Or you could have an AI agent do it for you. You can literally give your agent the script. The AI agent will have to use some sort of reasoning and smart thinking to create a LinkedIn style post and then go ahead and post it. This is an AI agent. It requires an LLM like GPT to make this smart text that looks like a real LinkedIn post and feels like a human wrote it. While a web agent wouldn't do anything like that. In fact, a web agent would just maybe get the YouTube video and just post it on a LinkedIn post. That's it, with no text. So again, the main difference is AI agents, you need an LLM, web agents, you don't. But despite there being a difference, there can be AI agents that have web agentic capabilities within them. For example, the posting on LinkedIn, this is something that can be done through a web agent. So while the text may be generated with the AI part, the actual posting can be done through pure web automation. And usually this combination of web agent, AI agent is just called AI agent. At the end of the day, AI agents are just the biggest trendy word possible. So when people talk about agents, they just automatically refer to AI agents. So what are some common misconceptions about agents? Number one is they're illegal. They are not illegal. Agents are not illegal. In fact, the only type of agent that is illegal in the United States are ticket bots. They're actually banned under the Obama administration. So do not make a ticket bot. I know you want to go to that Taylor Swift concert. Sorry, you can't. And another common misconception is that you have to be a super GigaChad tech nerd, Elon Musk's third son, to know how to create an agent. No, they're actually very simple. In fact, a lot of tools to create these agents are no-code drag and drop tools. So you can literally not be a programmer and create some pretty sick agents. And later in the video, I'm going to tell you the exact platforms that you can use to make these agents. Now, on the flip side, when you're making web-based agents, you will have to know how to code because, again, you're using pure web automation. So you're using JavaScript, HTML, Tailwind CSS, Node.js. These are languages of the web that somehow interact with it or literally are used to create a website. So you need to know this code like the back of your hand if you're going to create a successful web agent. With AI agents, you don't. There are so many tools like VoiceFlow, ManyChat that creators, coaches are all using to automate their DMs or automate their websites messaging all through these platforms that are just literally drag and drop, and you're able to create some very powerful AI agents. So while you have this heavy code-based approach and this low-code approach, people are usually questioning like which approach should you follow. So my approach is simple. I like to combine my knowledge of web agents and AI agents. Yes, sometimes when there's a complex web task, you're going to need to know the languages of the web like JavaScript, HTML, Node.js to make a successful web agent. And if you don't, your web agent is gonna suck and you're probably gonna make nothing and might even crash. And on the flip side, when a client wants me to create a very simple AI agent, then I would just use a no-code tool, right? It all really depends on the task and I like to keep it as minimal as possible. If I don't need to code, I won't. All right, and that's the approach I recommend. If you guys don't need to know how to code to do something, then don't learn how to code for it. All right, there's no point. Just use the drag and drop tools. But if there is something that is requiring you to like maybe, scrape something off of some website and it can only be done by like Puppeteer.js, which is a web automation library, then in that case, you should, pick up the thinking hat and learn how to code. And in fact, coding is such a #1 skill in 2025 that you matter of fact learn it at any time you possibly have. So I highly recommend just learning how to code because it's going to just make you more of an ultimate weapon. Now, with all this being said, what are the actual steps to learning how to build agents successfully this year? So starting off is literally getting started. You need to make sure you have a proper coding platform in the case you need to actually code. So the IDE I use is Visual Studio Code. It's literally what every developer uses at my corporate job. Everyone loves it. In fact, I think it's the most heavily used IDE to date. Another great tool that can be directly incorporated in Visual Studio Code is GitHub Copilot. This is like an AI coding assistant. You may have heard of Cursor.ai. This is another tool that's like Copilot. They're basically AI assistants that can help you while you're coding. You can autocomplete code. You can literally tell it to write the code for you and it will. And it just speeds up your development skills and development process as a programmer. Everyone in my corporate job uses this. You're actually required to use it because of how good it is. If you're a developer in 2025, there's absolutely no reason you do not have Cursor AI or Copilot helping you out. And now if you are heavily focused on the AI agents, then you need to know how to use VoiceFlow and N8N. These are two drag and drop no code platforms that can allow you to create very powerful AI conversational agents, voice AI, and some general use AI agents. I personally use VoiceFlow when it comes to chatbots, and I use N8N when it comes to everything else. So I like N8N more. And now again, back to the coding libraries, you need to know how to code in Node.js, as well as some very key libraries that Node.js supports, such as Puppeteer.js. Puppeteer.js is the most famous web automation framework out there. It literally lets you control a browser with your code, and you can act like a real human on any website. Top developers use this. I personally have been using it for the last 4 years, and my entire mentorship where I teach other people how to create these agents, I teach them in Puppeteer.js just because of how powerful it is. Another competitor to Puppeteer.js is Playwright. I know it's used a lot when it comes to corporate software engineering jobs. Playwright is just more professional, I like to say. I just been used to using Puppeteer.js for the past 4 years, so I am biased when I say I'd rather use Puppeteer.js, but Playwright is another web automation library that has a lot of support, a lot of people you can go to in an open source community to ask questions. Similar to Puppeteer, right? They both have that big community supporting it. So whichever one you like more, just try using that. But if you want my help, use Puppeteer because I can literally carry you with that. The next thing you gotta do is learn GitHub. GitHub is the ultimate version control tool where you can basically make sure that if you accidentally crash your code and absolutely destroy everything, you have backups. It is a necessity for any developer to make sure they have their own GitHub account as well as their own private repository where you can push all of your projects into this private repo, kind of turning into a portfolio of all of your work. The common Git commands are push, pull, fetch. You should learn all of these. You should become a master at GitHub basics. So while you don't have to be a master at GitHub in general, even I'm not, you should know at least the basics of it. So that way you can, turn your GitHub account into a portfolio that you can show recruiters, other developers. So that way they know that, hey, this guy actually knows what he's doing. Like, he's actually kind of smart. Another key benefit is a lot of open source code is on GitHub. DeepSeek can literally be found on GitHub, and you can use the very code that DeepSeek uses in your own projects. So if you want to access these repos and you want to be able to clone these repos and use them for your own personal projects, you kind of got to know how to use GitHub. So you matter of fact, learn it. And there are a ton of free videos on YouTube. Like, literally, you're probably a 10-minute video away from becoming a master at GitHub basics. So don't think it's some huge technology that's going to take you hours to learn. No, it's very, very straightforward. I think it took me about like 6 minutes when I first learned about GitHub to master it. So once all this groundwork is done, it's time for you to work on real projects. Working on real projects is extremely important if you truly want to create money-making products. Yes, you can build a simple automation program that goes to weather.com and gives you the latest report for the weather. Who's actually gonna spend money on that and buy that from you? No one. You need to create projects that have real meaning to them. Now you might ask me, okay, Ritesh, you can say all that, but how on earth do I even think of these projects that have real meaning? Good question. I recommend going to Product Hunt and looking at some of the top products of the week for the last 4 weeks. Try to recreate any of these products, but just a much simpler version. Like, literally create the Walmart version of any of the top products. This way you are building something that you already know has meaning if it's one of the top products of the week. And by building your own version of it, maybe with a unique twist, you can kind of sell it as your own product. And don't think you're cheating or this is like some horrible, scummy thing to do. In fact, a lot of people go to Product Hunt and these platforms that release tech products on the daily for inspiration, and sometimes they just make exact copies, the exact same product with like a little twist, and that is the developer world for you. It's not cheating. This is literally what developers do. I mean, we saw Snapchat stories, now we see Instagram stories, now we see TikTok stories, so everyone is doing it. Another key benefit of working on real projects is it will make your GitHub portfolio look that much more stellar in case you want to show it to a recruiter so you can land a full-time job as an AI engineer and make serious money. Of course, this is your call. After you create these meaningful projects, I recommend creating your first AI agent for customers. Yes, you're about to make money. See, by having all this experience that you gather through building these real projects, you're able to create AI agents that can actually help someone, and you can charge that person for helping them. In this video right here, I go in depth on how to build, sell, and market your AI agent for profit, so be sure to check that out after this video. Look, there's no better learning experience than creating AI agent for a customer, them yelling at you, then giving you feedback, and you having to improve it to make it the ultimate AI agent that can do whatever task you want it to do. And yes, it's not easy, but it's very doable. In fact, if you look at some of the top products on Product Hunt, they're mostly AI agents. Sometimes there might be assistants for, making your emails better or other code assistant, but they're all very easy to create. Like, they're pretty simple actually. And as you learn these platforms like N8N and you learn Node.js, you're gonna see that, wait, this top product of the week, I can make this in a weekend. Exactly. That's the beauty of it. So what I personally would do with all these potential agents that, can do so many tasks, if I had to pick one niche, I would focus on voice AI agents. Voice AI agents are the new hot trend that's as hot as TV selling out on Black Friday. Imagine talking to an AI to book an appointment at your doctor's office and you don't even realize it. Now imagine you're the doctor who's using the AI agent instead of a receptionist to take on these calls. So now you don't have to pay a receptionist and you are free yourself and you can focus on being a doctor and saving lives. And now imagine you're the person who's creating these AI agents, selling to the doctors, saving them money and time, and how much money you can make off of that. You're selling to a doctor. You can probably charge that doctor $5,000 for using your voice AI agent, like as a one-time fee. And I say $5,000 because this is a real price a lot of voice AI agencies sell their voice AI agents for. And the best part, you're actually helping a doctor make their life easier. So you're kind of saving lives because the doctor is saving lives and you're saving the doctor's life. I mean, you're a hero. So now, do you see the potential of creating a voice AI agent and why I highly recommend if you were to create your first agent today, that's the route you should go. Obviously, it's up to you. There's a ton of possibilities, guys, like a ton. I just like the idea of voice AI agents because I think it's very, very cool. And it'll turn into a money printing machine. So while you're creating all these projects, it's very easy to get swept away in like, yo, I'm making so much money off of this. I'm good. Like, I don't need to learn anymore. That's wrong. You need to continue to learn. You see, AI is like developing at such a rapid rate that the AI you knew about last week is outdated because an even better AI technologies released the same week that's better than the technology that was released last week. And that's how fast this space is moving. The other day I saw an AI that can take a picture and animate it into a video. That's absolutely crazy. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest AI news, I highly recommend following these 2 Instagram accounts and signing up for my newsletter where I cover the hottest AI trends. And as you stay up to date with all these AI trends, your creativity will be at an all-time high because you'll be like, wait, I used to think this was impossible, but now I know it's possible. And because I know it's possible, I can create an AI agent that can automate the entire process and sell this to people. All of a sudden, you'll be creating AI agents for use cases that you didn't even know could exist. You can literally make an AI agent that can make movies of Spider-Man fighting Superman. Like, it's actually possible in today's age. And as you create more and more of these absolutely ridiculous AI agents, you're going to be building what I call an AI agent army. Yes, an army of AI agents. It's like the Terminator on steroids. And this is where the real magic happens. You can create AI agents that can manage other AI agents and monitor their work, review it, and make sure it's up to your standards. There's a ton of videos on YouTube showcasing exactly what I'm saying using the no-code platform N8N. See, eventually you might even create AI agents that create other AI agents, and that's when the world is actually going to end. And that's when we humans will no longer be needed. But the potential of this is pretty insane. See, Sam Altman recently said this. And what this means is that your business back in the day, maybe like a year or 3 years ago, would need setters, closers, a receptionist, right? All these other filler positions to take care of certain tasks. But now these very same tasks can be handled by an AI agent. Your receptionist can be replaced by a voice AI agent. Your closer can also be replaced by a voice AI agent. A lot of these key positions at companies can now be replaced. And this is literally why people are losing their jobs, because it's just not needed anymore. And while that does suck, you have to adapt and learn how to use AI agents to your advantage. So by creating these AI agents that are now filling these job positions, you're able to scale your side hustle, your company, to a multi-million-dollar company with just yourself. And this is possible if you know how to build these agents. It's almost like these agents are your minions and they're doing all your work. And you just gotta maybe work like 2 or 3 hours a day. And that's nuts. Like working 2 or 3 hours a day and you have just AI agents doing everything else for you. It's like you are creating your own metaverse. And if you want guidance on creating an army of agents that can do virtually anything, and you can sell these for multiple tens of thousands of dollars, and check out my mentorship link below where I will walk you through this entire process within 6 weeks. So in short, yes, you are destined to create real impact and make real money if you follow these 7 steps. Don't hesitate. Start today. Now that you have a brief overview of building AI agents, let's use N8N, a no-code tool, to build some high-quality AI automations and workflows. First, we will build a job hunting AI agent, and then we will build an army of AI agents that you can sell to content creators. See you on the other side. AI agent job finder. Okay, cool. Now we'll add our first step. So the first thing we want to do is an MCP server trigger. The model context protocol is one of the coolest things. If you have not heard about this yet, I highly recommend doing some research. I'll leave some important links about MCP in the description below because it is absolutely mind-blowing. So so once you have the MCP up, make sure you click save. Make sure your workflow is activated as well. Okay, so we have our MCP, and if you look at our task list, we can say the MCP is successfully created. And now what we want to add is our email agent. So just for test purposes, we're going to add an email agent that's going to be able to send emails to whatever email address you want to send the email to. So we use Gmail. Now you look at this, you'll see that if this is your first time creating this AI agent and using the Gmail node, you're going to have to create a new credential, right? I already have one because I've done this before. I've used the Gmail agent so many times. But let's say we want to create a new credential. This is your redirect URI. We're going to have to figure out how to get this client ID and client secret. You might not know how to get this, and let's say you aren't someone who knows how to do this. Let's find out how can you find the information to how you're supposed to get it, right? If you take a quick screenshot of this, and you just upload it into Claude. How can I get the client ID for the Gmail node and N8N? Remember guys, use AI when you are in doubt. There's no point surfing the web. AI can handle screenshots. It's 2025. It's extremely advanced. It will literally do everything you want it to do. It can find all the information. So I see right here, ask Claude. Okay, so it looks like it's unable to capacity constraints. Maybe it can't handle the screenshot in this case. So if that's ever the case, what I'll do instead is I will go to ChatGPT and I'll do the exact same thing. I'll just upload from computer, click my screenshot. Here, let me do it again. If Claude ever acts up, the benefit of 2025 is there are so many powerful LLMs that if one is being weird, just use the other one. And I'm gonna be a little bit lazy with this. Just copy paste this. All right, let's see. To get the client, so all right, here are the steps. So we're gonna have to go to console.cloudglue.com. You see how it tells you all the steps you need to follow to get your client ID and client secret. This is the amazing part when it comes to just LLMs and ChatGPT, Claude. They can answer all your questions. We love that, right? So let's follow these directions. So just open Google Cloud Console. So this is my first project. So then it's said to API and services. So API services and then credentials. All right, so we're gonna create a credential. Client ID. We'll say web app, web client 3. Now the redirect URI is right here, so we copy that. Okay, there's our redirect URI, and we click create. So we have our client ID and client secret right here. So I'll copy the client ID, put that in there, copy client secret, put that in there, and I will click save. I'll sign in with Google. If this ever comes up, just click continue. Cool. So connection successful. All right, so account is connected. So we go to access out. You see we have the credentials loaded. So account 2. And now just to test things, let's send an email. So we'll send it to my email. Subject will be test email. Email type is text. Test email. Cool. All right, so we have that. We'll click save. And now we can go to our task list and we have added the email agent. Cool. Now we need to connect end-to-end workflow to Claude. Because remember, this is live, right? We can access this AI agent anytime. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna use Cloud Desktop and we're actually gonna connect our end-to-end tool to Claude, right? So to do that, first thing you have to do, and you can go to MCP server trigger, production URL. You copy this production URL, all right? You go to Claude Desktop, go Claude, go settings, go click developer. Make sure you enable this if it's not enabled already. Click edit config, and then you can open this with any IDE. I use Cursor. It's, in my opinion, the best one. And this is how your JSON will look like. I'm gonna replace this URL with the URL I just copied. I'll save it. And then I'll open Claude again. Exile Claude. I'll X this one out. We don't need Claude right here anymore. Okay, so now I can open Claude. All right, so Here. Whenever you edit the config of Claude, you want to just make sure the application is quitted, right? So it's closed. Now reopen it. All right, so you look right here, you see number 1, right? It says 1 MCP tool available. This means a connection has been successful. So in other words, Claude can now access this agent. So this is something that's going to be pretty cool, right? Use the N8N tool to send an email to send email to rvbusiness1m@gmail.com. Okay, so we click go. Now we wait. So yeah, it's saying that it doesn't have access to the N8N tool, but it has access to the Gmail functionality. So I guess it doesn't understand that this is all N8N, but it understands that it has that Gmail ability, right? That Gmail agent. So what it's going to be doing is sending the email to this email right here. Now it's asking for subject and the content, but if you remember, we kind of hard coded the values, right? We said test email and test email right here, but let's pretend we didn't. We can just say subject is test, content is hey, go subscribe. And now okay, so saying the email. It did just ask you a question. I think I may have accidentally clicked something, but you should say allow always. So we got an error. Okay, yeah, so I accidentally clicked don't do it. So let's do it again. Can you try sending the email again? All right, so now we wait again. Yeah, make sure you don't get to click happy. Let's wait. And I like showing you all the exact process of how I do this, because no development process is perfect, right? When you create AI agents or code or whatever, you're gonna run into some issues, some silly mistakes, some big mistakes. So it's all about how you problem solve. So see, this is what I accidentally clicked before. I think I clicked decline or something, but we'll say allow for this chat. So now it should send it. Okay, so now you see the response. Okay, look at that. It says the email hasn't successfully sent. Perfect. All right. So it's been successfully sent. Now let's confirm it. Test email. Perfect. So we got the email successfully. We're happy. Now, one thing I do want to mention is you might see that if you get an error saying that, hey, Gmail is not allowed, make sure when you click enabled API and services, so search up like Gmail right here. So Gmail API, make sure it says enable, right? Make sure it says manage Travis API, because if it says enable, then you have to make sure your API is enabled. If it's not enabled, it's not going to work. So make sure it's enabled. Cool. So the email agent successfully works. So if you go to our task list, it's connected. All right. So now what we want to do is add a Google Sheet agent. Okay. All right. Now we will add our Google Sheets tool. Okay. So this is where we're going to store our recruiters' emails, right? And then we will have our email agent go through the Google Sheets and email all the emails we have stored in there. So we'll say select credential, so create a new credential, kind of the same idea, right? Now, I'm not sure if you can use the same. I think you can use the same client ID and client secret as the email agent one, right? Here, let's verify. Can you use the same? When adding a Google Sheets node to N8N and setting up account access. Because I don't know if we need to generate a new client ID, client secret, but okay, it looks like you can use the same client ID and client secret. Perfect. In that case, yeah, so let's copy this. That's client ID, and then copy client secret. Okay. Alright, so it looks like we have successfully connected. Credentials. Sign with Google. Advanced. Alright, so connection is successful. Account connected. Perfect. So it looks like we have our Google Sheets agent working successfully. So now what we want to do is we want to go to Google Sheets and actually create like a list of recruiter emails. So we'll say recruiter emails. So let's do this. So name, email. All right, that's really all we need for all the recruiters that we want to email. So, all right, I believe we make this, let's say, end with the link. Done. All right, so we have our Google Sheets made. So now let me just click back, click this again. What this can do is it can read, can append or update, get rows. So we want it to get the rows, right? Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reading, we're going to store a bunch of emails in here. And then what we want to do is make sure our Google Sheets node can read all these rows and the information, and then our email agent in Gmail will email all the emails. So let's do okay, so one thing we have to do is we have to enable the API. So remember how I talked about enabling the Gmail API? We also have to enable the other one. So the other one was, say, Google Sheets. Google Sheets API. See, it says enable. So now that we enabled it, should be good. Let's wait a bit. Okay, cool. So Google Sheets API is enabled. Let's also enable Google Drive. All right, so now they're both enabled. Perfect. So we can close this out. Okay, so now let's go back real quick, click it again. Okay, so there you go, recruiter emails, and then sheet, it should be the first one, right? Sheet 1, yeah, perfect. Okay, so we don't need to do any filters or anything like that. Yeah, so this should be connected. Settings, notes, okay, cool. All right, perfect. If you go to a description, you set them manually. The data from Google Sheets. This includes the name and email of recruiters. All right, this is giving the agent some context, right? Cool. The Gmail one's pretty straightforward. I don't think we need to do much of that. Now, what we can do, however, is yeah, I think this is good. All right, cool. So we have our MCP agent workflow successfully configured, right? So go back to our task list. We added the Google Sheet agent successfully. So now is the actual part where we have to get these emails of recruiters. Like, where are we going to find all these emails of recruiters? Well, there's a free resource that I like to use called Apollo. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. Apollo login. I feel like I made an account on this before. Let's see. This is login with Google. All right. So it looks like I may not be registered here. I have 2 profiles, so let's say try this one. Yep, there you go. I'm in. All right, cool. So in Apollo, if you click people, right, you can make a free account. I use a free account myself. I'm actually on a free trial. So click people, and you can see a bunch of different leads, whatever, right? So what I'm going to do is you click persona, right? So you ignore all this for now. Click persona, and we're going to add a persona. So remember, we want to find recruiters, right? So job recruiters. Now, in my specific scenario, I'm looking for tech recruiters, right? As like a software engineer or software developer. If you are in the real estate niche or fashion or business analyst, medical even, you can edit these details I'm about to put to fit whatever your niche you're in. So for example, job title, right? We want recruiter. Okay, that's universal for everywhere, right? We want recruiter. Yeah. Okay. We have that, and then advanced. We don't need that. So recruiter is what we're looking for, right? Recruiter. I think technical recruiter is another one. Technical recruiter. Yep. So any similar titles, right? And so you make sure this checkbox is checked. Then you want to go in industry and keywords. This is where whatever industry you're in, this is where you put your industry. So in my scenario, I'm putting information technology and services because software engineering, right? So we'll try, say, software, computer software, software engineer. Nope, no results found. All right, let's leave that. Now you can start seeing the leads coming in here. There's a bunch of leads, 184,000. Now we want to, I don't know about you, but I only want to work in America. So I'll pick location as United States. You can add multiple locations. You can just pick one. But this, see how it's trimmed it down from 183,000, not 57,000. Huge difference, right? And then, yeah. So now we see we got Google recruiters. We got what else we got? We got Stripe. We got PayPal. You know, we got a bunch of people, bunch of recruiters that we can hit up. So say the persona. All right, and then say done. So we have managed personas. We have job recruiters enabled, and you can see all their emails right here. You can see what company they're at, and you can see their job title. So these are recruiters, right? Technical recruiter, global recruiting, technical recruiter, and you can get very specific with your filters and your search. But for now, we'll go with this. Okay, so we'll click in it name, and we'll select number of people. So select all, right? So 16 people in this on this page, right? That are verified emails. So remember, we also are looking for email status verified. This way we know that these are actual emails of real people and they're not like potential scams, right? So after a lot of the filters, we have 16 people that are being shown. Now, again, I heavily filtered this. You can always like less filter it, but let's say if I take out the verified, we have now 20. Okay, cool. But I always like to have it verified. So now on the paid plans, I'm sure you have access to a bunch of more people and whatnot, but we're on the free plan, so we're not gonna get too greedy. Okay, cool. So select all, apply. Select this page. Okay, there you go. We're gonna export it. Export all emails. Export records. Sent to you. Click download and download document. So we'll click download right here, and now we have our CSV, right, of all of our recruiters. So let's rename this to recruiter emails AI. Okay, so now we know what it's for. Cool. So what we're going to be doing now is we are going to, we can exit this out. We have all the APIs enabled, so we can exit this out. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be now using Claude. We're gonna open the CSV, and we're gonna put those emails into the Google Sheets. So we can just you can just import it. So file, import, upload, browse, go to downloads. Append to current sheet. import data. All right, so we have first name, last name, primary email. So we can just copy this, or here. We don't need all of this. We can just delete that. Delete that. And you can keep all the information you want, right? In my case, I'm just keeping it very simple. Cool. And then we have the email. Copy. So we just reformat this a little bit. You can always ask ChatGPT to reformat this for you as well. Let's copy this, delete it, paste there. Cool. So we have our first name, last name, email. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And we probably don't need the last name because for the email purposes, we'll just use a first name, right? Cool. So what we're gonna be doing now is we are going to ask Claude. If you look at our task list, we got the recruiter emails. Okay, so we got the email collection. All right, so there you go. The emails are in Google Sheets. Our workflow is ready. Now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna ask Claude to read all the Google Sheets, all the emails in the Google Sheets, and then send an email to all of them, right? So here's how that's gonna work. So if we go to Claude, first things first, go email. Because remember, right now we have it hard-coded. We can't really have that. So we're gonna have to define automatically by the model, subject as well, and the email type text, and then what the message is gonna be. Because we don't want the same message sent to everyone, right? So see how it's being read from the AI. Perfect. Just make sure this is also everything good. What are the options? Here, first name. Pay attention to the first name and email column. There you go. Get that. All right, so now we can actually test our workflow. Make sure to save this. All right, so now we go to Claude and we'll ask it. Can you send an email to you have access to? Can you send the following email via Gmail to each of the emails in Google Sheets you have access to? Found. And now we will type in the following email. So say subject is, what's a good subject for a recruiter? I don't know, driven software engineer with 2+ years of experience, or whatever your case is. Let's say you're 4+ years experience, right? Let's say you're looking for a senior software engineer role, right? And the message will be, hey, let me say insert name of recruiter, or insert first name. My name is Ritesh Verma, and I am a software engineer. I am looking to start work at a more challenging tech company. For us to I am positive I'll fit for the company you are representing. Right. And then best Ritesh Verma. All right. Now real quick, let me not use my real name. Let's say my name is Romeo Shadow. Best Romeo. Actually, I'll use my real name. Screw it. All right. For just to test it, let's say to the first email. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Let's click enter and see what happens. Any Google Sheets files. So I think because we actually added this after, we might have to close Claude and reopen it. Yeah, so let's do that. Here, let's quit Claude. Let's reopen it. This is because Claude is probably saving the information of the workflow we built out, and then if we add anything new to it, it doesn't re-register that new information until you close it out and reload it. All right, cool. Let's do. So you see, it now has two. All right, so now it has two MCP tools. Before it only said one. All right. So now we do this again. Let's copy this, paste this, subject, and then message. All right. Let's try again. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. There you go. Say allow for this chat. This would be very cool if this works, man. Very cool. There you go. You got the email. Now send the yeah, allow for this chat. Look at that. Hey, Debanjali. So it got the name of the person and their email. Email successfully sent. That is absolutely insane. Let's make sure this actually is true, because I mean, I'm sure it's gonna work, but it's even hard to believe for me, you know. Yeah, so let's look at the Gmail. Let's look at sent. Wow, will you look at that? Will you look at that? The recruiter's name, their email, successful. Look at that. Now let's even take it a step further. If you made it to this part of the video, like the video, but we're gonna take it even a step further. So remember how I kind of like took away the company name, right? What if so let's copy this. Where's the company name? Company name. Where's the company name? Where's the company name? All right, company name is right there. I am blind. Nice. Cool. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. That. Oh my god, how much information is there? That. All right, cool. All right, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna paste that here, and then we are going to copy that. And then paste the company here. Cool, so now you have the company that each recruiter is at. So we're gonna make our email even better. So we're gonna say, first to say, first name and email of recruiters and the company they represent. Pay attention to the first name and email column and the company column. All right, that's cool. Now in the email, right? Okay, so yeah, email we can keep the same. So we're gonna be doing it in Claude though, so let's save this. Now again, we added something new to the workflow, so we will have to close Claude and reopen it. That's something that you really just can't escape, to be honest. Okay, so let's quit it. Let's reopen it. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending a mass email to all the recruiters. All right, so this is about to be insane. All right, let's wait for this to load. Any day now. All right, so go back to here. All right, so we're going to say, and this is why AI agents are just so smart, man. Like, it's actually unbelievable the power of them, right? And discuss why I'm positive I will be a great fit for insert company of recruiter. A fit for cool best rotation remote. Now, cool. Subject, message. All right. Now, instead of can you send the following email to the first email, we say to all of the emails of the recruiters. All right, so yeah. All right, let me make this email a little bit better though, so I can actually maybe see if this actually works out for myself. Featured over subscribers on YouTube. Have experience client facing corporate environment. And agentic outside of my 9 to 5 as all right, so this is my final email. I think it's pretty cool. So what we're gonna be doing now is we are going to send this to every single recruiter. Now, the one downside is, if you remember, you went to the email, it says this email is sent automatically with N8N. If you subscribe to N8N, I'm pretty sure that this message will not be there. But for now, it's fine. Okay. In fact, it might even show the recruiter, hey, this guy is using automation to land a job. So he obviously knows what he's doing, right? I hope that's the idea they get. But all right, cool. So we got the message. Perfect. Yeah, it looks like it should be good. Let's click go. Now we wait. Wow, look at that. It understands that it needs to send individual emails and not one bulk email to all the addresses at once, right? So it's literally going to do everything one by one. Look, email number 1 successfully sent. And it says the company they're at as well, right? And we can verify that that first person is, in fact, check this out, at Facebook. Yep, there you go, Meta. Email 2 successfully sent. Email 3 sent. It's literally going one by one, emailing all these recruiters. If you want the exact copy of this workflow and this Google Sheets and all the information, you can find it in my free community. There's a link in the description below, so make sure to join that, and you can just download this exact same workflow without having to do any of the work yourself. Wow, all 16 emails have been successfully sent, and now to verify on our end, let's refresh this page, reload, click send, and there you go. You are going to create a $1 million business with AI agents in this video. You are going to create 2 AI agents that work together to do something absolutely magical. Just like how businesses have teams dedicated to certain tasks, you're gonna have your own team of AI agents. No one is doing it like this, giving you free sauce, so make sure to watch until the end. But before we start building, it's important to know what $1 million business are we exactly creating. We are going to be creating a personal brand using these 2 agents to help us with everything that's not talking to the camera. You see, everyone can, open their phone and talk to the camera and post a video, but when it comes to managing emails from sponsorships, from collaborations, to writing scripts, editing, it becomes a real headache. That's why we're going to create 2 AI agents, a manager agent and a copywriter agent that will help us manage our inbox, respond to sponsors, and write scripts for us. These 2 agents are gonna work together, and it will be the start of our AI agent army. And even if you don't want to start your own personal brand, you can sell these agents to other creators and make $1 million that way. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is you gotta head over to N8N. So you simply go to N8N, and then you can do sign in, and you can make your account. Now, I already have an account, and once you make an account, you go create a workflow, and you have your first workflow. So we're going to do, this is called the trigger step, right? You can basically pick when this AI agent will start running. You can, trigger it manually. You can do an app event, a schedule. We're going to do an app event, and we're going to use Telegram. So whenever we send a message to a specific Telegram channel, this agent will be activated. So to make an account on Telegram, it's very simple. You create a new credential. You need an access token. So how to get the access token? You got to open Telegram and go to what's called the bot father. So this is an API token I have for previous bots, but I will do it again for this purpose of this video. Do new bot. Let's choose a name. 1 million biz bot. Oh, buoys. Okay. All right. So now let's do 1 million buoys bot. Cause we're cool. Cool. So now we got the API token. Let's copy it. Paste it right here. Save. And there you go. We created the account successfully. It's connected. Cool. So now what we're going to do is you can see we can actually chat with our tool. So say hello. Let's test the workflow. Okay, let's test it again. So it's waiting for us to send a message here. So we say hello, and boom, it executes successfully because it was waiting for the trigger. We sent a text, it started running. So that's cool, but this is obviously just the first step of many, right? To actually make this into a tool that we like. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make it so, what if we're on the run, we're on the go, and we want to send a message to our AI agent to do a certain task, right? We don't want to type it all out, so what we're gonna do is add a switch. And what this does is it will allow us to accept both text as well as voice. So we're just gonna check if this text exists, right? And then we're also gonna check if it's a voice. So real quick, let's check if it's a text, okay? So now we also have to do another run where we'll add a voice. Hello there, how are you? Please subscribe. So there you go, it ran, and if we click it, and we see that this time it was a voice, right? So we're just gonna check if this file ID exists. So we're gonna check, does this exist? If so, then it's obviously a voice. Cool. So let's do this step first. So if it is a voice, right, what are we gonna do? Well, first we have to actually grab the voice file, and we're actually gonna download it. So let's do get a file. So the file ID is right here as well. You see, we can test it, and there you go, it's downloaded. So now you can download this yourself and save it to your computer, but you don't need to do that. The agent itself doesn't need to do that. What it does need to do though is transcribe what you are saying. How doesn't, because the AI agent needs to know what we're saying, right? So what we're gonna do is use OpenAI's. There's a transcribe recording audio. I think it would just be, transcribe, sorry. Yeah. So you have the file, you can test it. Hello there, how are you? Please subscribe. It's exactly what I said. So we know this is working properly. Very, pretty simple so far. Now that we have the text, let's say you want to edit anything in the text. You have this selector called edit fields. You don't have to use it, but I will just add it in case we do need it in the future. But now this is like, pretty basic, right? We can test our flow again. Let's test the workflow. I think everyone watching this video will be successful if they watch until the end. There you go. See how it went? It just switched. It detected it was a voice and now went through this route, not this route. It's working the exact way we want it to. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add the magic. The magic is what you call an AI agent. So if you click advanced AI right here, you see AI agent. This is the holy grail. This is what's gonna make our agent actually do stuff and be amazing. But first, let's connect both paths to it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do to actually make this AI agent spectacular is pick a chat model. There's a ton of chat models. You see right here. This is one of the newer ones. Anthropic's a good one. DeepSeek, everyone loves DeepSeek now, right? I will use OpenAI for the purpose of this. And what you need to do is you need to create an OpenAI account. So you create a new credential. I have an OpenAI account already. If you do not, what you have to do is the following. You have to go to your OpenAI account and you got to go to your dashboard. And you should see API keys right here. You can create a new key. I'll call it test N8N key. You create it, you copy it. And now you create your credential, paste your API key in here, and you gotta test to make sure it works. Okay, test it worked perfectly. Cool. So now we have our account connected. So it's really that simple just to connect your account. You can pick which model you want. I am going with the GPT-4o. It's up to you, right, to pick which one you prefer. The next step is now to actually work with our agent and give it the proper prompt, right? So we're going to define below exactly what first of all the text is, right? So to do that, we're going to grab this. So we want to look at the switch because we don't want to look at the OpenAI output. The OpenAI output is this right here. Because if it's not a recording and it's text, we still need to grab whatever the person has messaged, right, in the Telegram channel. Because it can be text or it can be recording. So we can't just ignore this flow too. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the output of this node right here. So to do that, you just simply go to here, do switch, and you can see the message. So the message will be message.text or voice. Here, let's see what happens if it's text. So let's test the workflow. Hi there. And then, okay, so now we're gonna check the switch again. So this is gonna be the text. We're going to eventually have to pick, hey, if it's voice, what happens, right? If it's text, how are you gonna process it? So we're gonna need some sort of transformer to accept both. But for now, we can just go about the text example. So there's text right here. See, it's hi there. We're gonna require, actually we're not gonna require a specific output format. Instead, we're just gonna add an option and do a system message. So this is where we're defining who this, agent really is, because this agent has no identity, right? If you watch Severance, this is like your innie. So now we basically paste this prompt that I pre-made. You can find this prompt in my free school community. You simply go to here, Wi-Fi Life is free. Go to Classroom and you will see a new course just for N8N. And by the time you watch this video, it's going to be up there. So be sure to join. It's totally free once again. So it'll just help you. It's pretty cool stuff. So I have this prompt. I define by who you are, who you're helping, some instructions, some tools, right? So these are some tools we're going to be writing and creating just to give you a quick preview, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. Let me just make sure everything's good. Let's test the step. Okay, so everything looks good, right? It doesn't look like we're missing anything. So now we're going to do the actual magic, okay? Remember, as a content creator, you're going to be getting a ton of emails, right? From brands, collaborations, and you might even get some emails that of people just asking you questions. So you want to be able to ask your agent, hey, can you get all my unread sponsorship emails? And you want to see them as soon as possible. So what we're going to do is add this tool. We're going to do Gmail. And to create a Gmail account, you simply just sign in with Google. It's pretty straightforward, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do operation get many. This way you can get the agent can get multiple emails in your inbox. We're going to add a filter. We're going to add label name and IDs. We're going to add, you can pick which labels you want. So for us, inbox, obviously, and we're looking for the unread. Okay. You can, if you have a category set up in your email, that's perfect because you can look at whichever category you want to. So if you have a category for just sponsors, that would be pretty good. But yeah, this is for more general. So you have inbox and unread. So now we're going to do is it should be able to get these messages. So we get these emails. So we have this tool. We're going to rename it Gmail. Dash get many. The reason we're doing this is because in the agent, in the prompt, I defined what the name of each tool will be. So to make it more clear for your AI agent, you want to, be consistent. If you give it this name here, then why don't you give this name here as well? Your AI agent is still like a human, just extremely smart. So don't just think you can talk in broken English or make absolutely no sense and your AI agent will understand. Most likely it will because they're that smart. But it's better if you just make it very easy to understand even for a human. Because if a human can understand it, an AI agent definitely can. So always keep that in mind when you're creating any sort of prompt for an AI agent. So let's test this. Okay, let's test this. We're going to test a workflow, and we're going to tell the tool, get my past 5 unread emails. So see, it's running the tool right here. Okay, one thing we're actually missing is we're missing the send message. So, we don't know exactly what this agent is doing, right? Or what it's done. So it'll be good if it can let us know that, hey, these are the emails that you're missing. If you click this right here, you can see from LinkedIn, from Dillard's, right? But no one understands what this is saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to send we're going to send a text message, and the chat ID you can get from right here. Oh, shoot. It's right here. Okay, so the chat ID. Oh, actually, I can just go to the Telegram trigger. Silly me. Chat ID. Yeah, and then the text is going to be go to AI agent. You do the output. So now it's going to tell us what our emails are. You can see right here, from each person, Bigger Pockets, University of Maryland. That's the college I went to, and cool. So we have our past 5 unread emails. Now let's verify this. So if I go to my Gmail, I see yeah, literally. But it's going through all and seeing promotions. Dillard's was 836, University of Maryland. I sent my own email, 4 emails acting like a brand. So what we're gonna do actually is this: delete all of these. Maybe even here we can actually mark all of these as red. Okay, so let's mark all of these as red. Primary, got you. So these will be red too. So now our latest unread emails are sponsorship emails, similar to how a content creator, have their inbox looking like. So now if we ask it again, and we can even be a little bit more specific, right? We test the workflow. If we ask it, what are my last 5 unread emails that are from potential sponsors / collaborations? Let's see. So it's using the Gmail tool, and now it should send us a message back. And this is the beauty of AI agents. They're so smart. I hope it gives me the correct answer. Otherwise, I just call it smart when it's actually dumb. But I trust you. There you go. Let's see. Exactly. So these were the last 5 unread emails from a sponsor, right? So Zugo, Zoshin, Anime Lovers, InstaDM. Don't at me on the Zoshin and Zugo. I'm not trying to get copyrighted. So yep, Team Zugo, hi Ritesh from Zoshin, Team Anime Lover, and Team InstaDM, and Brian Makata, who's a YouTuber, I'm pretty sure. This is actually a promotional email, but I guess the AI agent thinks it's like a potential collaboration, but it was able to get these for sponsorship emails. So it did work to our liking. But now we were able to get all these emails. What if we actually want to send emails back, right? Like I'm a content creator. I see this. I'm like, okay, we want to know your rates for a 60 to 90 second post. Well, I had the same rate. They're all asking basically the same question, right? So why not I just give them all the same reply? So to do that, you go use a Gmail tool, Operation Send, and you can use placeholders right here. So for here, you can just copy this. You can kind of give the AI some guidance on how it should be doing this part. So you have the 2, right, which is the raw email address of the recipient. It's an expression. This is going to be text. The subject is going to be called subject. And we're going to say clear and concise subject line. And then finally, the message is going to be the body. And then say the body of the email itself. All right, cool. This looks good. It looks like this should be enough to send a email. Now, again, we have to rename this tool to the name we gave it in our prompt. So, Gmail sender tool. Rename. Okay, cool. So this is a Gmail sender tool. All right. So let's just test this tool real quick. Okay, let's test the workflow. We're gonna say send a lunch invite to my friend RV business. No. The big. I should, okay, use a tool. It sent it. Perfect. Look, so let's verify this. This is our, okay, so we see a little error. It's being a little weird. It was able to send the email correctly, but it kind of gave the actual code, which is weird. Let's look at it. Okay, so the error was, it's not an expression. So let's make these into expressions. All right. Now let's test it again. We can just copy paste this. Okay, it's sending another email. Okay, let's test this. There you go. We have lunch invitation from me, best your name. So let's make it so this, we're gonna edit the prompt so it'll have best my actual name every time. So right here, in this tool, we will say, you should write emails using this tool as Ritesh Verma. So your signature should include Ritesh Verma in it. That way, now the agent knows that, hey, please talk on my behalf. All right. So this right here is extremely powerful, and I'm going to show you guys the reason why. Now, one thing I want to show you guys are real sponsorship emails I get, and you can see the language is pretty similar to right here, right? They usually ask you about your rates for a video, for 60-second integration, for full minute integration. So content creators have to deal with this on the daily. And responding to all these sponsors can take a lot of time, and that's time that you don't want to spend. And if you're a new creator, you're just going to be like, oh man, this takes too much time. So we're saving that by your buddy, Mr. AI agent over here. All right, so now to see the real power of all this, what I'm going to show you is something amazing. Test the workflow. I'm going to say, in the last 5 emails in my inbox that are from sponsors asking for a collaboration, reply to each of them saying my rates for a 60-second video is my rate for a 60-second video is $700. Okay. In reality, it's not. It's actually way more, but just for you to know. So what we are by sending them each an email. Now, what we are basically asking this agent to do is reply to all these people right here, or at least these 4, right? With relatively the same message, just saying our rates. Now, right now, we're giving the agent our rates, but we can actually program our agent to know our rates beforehand. That's something you can do, right? Using this agent, this template that we already have. And this template, again, will be found in my school community, so just be sure to join it. So let's run it. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it's getting the emails first, which makes sense, right? And you should read which emails are from sponsors. Now it's talking to the chat model. Come on, OpenAI, don't let me down. I will use DeepSeek. Don't make me transition over. So now it should be sending. Okay, it sent 5 emails. Look at that. Do you guys see that? It sent 5 emails, right? As per beautiful. Let's see. So Team Zugo, I found percent. Okay, so it was able to send 3. I'm guessing I got 2 more emails in the meantime. Okay, so yeah, this is a LinkedIn one. That's fine. But okay, so I sent a reply to Anime Lover, Zoshin, and Zugo. Let's see. So see, I just got, okay, so update one. I should probably mark all of this as red as well. But we were able to send the emails, as we expected. Now, what we can do is, hey, it didn't send an email to these 3. We can just tell it to send an email to the sponsors that didn't, right? Like Instant DM. Well, that's the only one really. Hey, can you send an email to Team Instant DM that just recently emailed me saying my rate is $700 for a 60-second video, and it will do that. So that's the beauty of it. But let's verify that it actually sent these emails to Team Zoshin, Team Anime Lovers, and Team Zugo. So to do that, okay, so look at this. We got a reply for each of the sponsor deals. So 6 Zoshin. Look at that. And it has my name. So they think it's from me. Now, you guys are seeing this right here. I'm pretty sure if you subscribe to and actually pay for it, this will be removed. So you don't have to worry about that. But you see right here, hi Mary, thanks for your interest. My rate for a 69-second sponsor post is $700. So it was, and best Ritesh Verma. This is a professional email, and it's sent to Zoshin, it's sent to Zugo, and it's sent to Anime Lovers. So it worked absolutely perfectly. And now we can be on the go and just type this out to our AI agent via Telegram, and it will do everything for us, right? So this agent already now can handle sponsorship requests. And sponsorships request is a big part of being creative. That's how you get paid. That's how you're going to, build your brand, make a ton of money from it, get like $5,000 deals. And the faster you apply, the better it is for a sponsor. So this is pretty cool, right? We're able to have an AI agent that can handle and manage our inbox as a creator. But there's something else that's very important for a creator, and that's writing an outline for your video the moment you have an idea. Now, what if you're walking on the street, you have a great video idea, but you don't have time to actually, write an outline for it, right? But you have an idea. Why don't you just tell your AI agent to write the outline for you? And that's what we're about to do now. And this is what's going to make this AI agent spectacular. Nothing like this on the internet for free. So let's save this. Okay, let's call this Creator Manager. All right. And now what we're going to do is we are going to go back to overview. And you can see I have 2 samples of this before as well. We're going to create another workflow. We're going to call this Creator Script Writer, or Creator Copywriter. Copywriter. Something tells me this is not how you spell it. Yeah, copywriter. I'm tripping. Creator Copywriter. So this is going to be our best friend when it comes to just writing things, writing out ideas, outlines, potentially even full-on video scripts for us. So because scripting is a big part as a creator, and writing a script can take you like an hour or even an outline. So imagine AI just doing it for you on the go. So what we're going to do is we're going to execute another workflow. So this, we're going to make it so this AI agent, let me open this. Let me save this. Overview. Oopsie doopsie. There you go. So this AI agent right here, so let's do tool, and we're going to call another one, and this is going to be called Creator Copywriter tool. So Creator Copywriter tool. And now for the description, simply just write, call this tool when needing to write outlines for YouTube video scripts. And now we're going to, as period, we're going to choose, so Creator Copywriter tool. Okay. And we're going to go back to here. We're going to save this. There's something we are missing though. First of all, why is it? Let's rename this again to Creator Copywriter. Okay, so that's our tool. Now we go back to Creator Copywriter. Let's save this again. We go to Creator Copywriter. What we need to do is edit this and add a field. We can call this query. Okay. Test step. And right now it's null. There's no information being passed in. Let's save this. And we go back to Creator Manager. You see the query field is now here. So we're going to be able to pass the data through this variable called query. Now, what data are we actually going to pass it? Well, the way I imagine this, and you can do it differently, I'll be on the go saying, write a script outline for a video titled how to make money with AI agents, right? This is what I'll send the Telegram prompt. And what it should do is call the script agent. So what I'm gonna just take out is this exact message I send it. So to do that, you simply go back to the Telegram trigger. Hello there. It says, hello, how can I assist you today? Cool. So this is the text, right? So let's put this in the query. All right. Back to Canvas. So you have the creator copywriter. And now we're going to actually go to the creator copywriter. Let's save this. Go to the creator copywriter tool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add a chat model, like basically a model that will actually take our question and turn it into an outline, right? It'll take the title, it'll do all the smart processing it needs to. So we're gonna use OpenAI again. Again, you guys can use any other LLM. So we see, let's see. Yeah, just message a model. So we're gonna be messaging this model saying, hey, this is what we're asking. Can you like make this into an outline, basically, right? Cool. So go to the system. Now what we're going to do is we're going to write a message saying write an outline for a YouTube video script. This is what I am asking for. Details can be found here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this JSON.query and we're gonna drag it into here and basically give it the exact question that we're asking. So let's do that again. Remember, we want expression. Anytime you're using JSON in your text, you got to use an expression. Otherwise, it's not gonna understand this. That's a mistake we made earlier. So we wanna make sure we learn from our mistakes, okay? Yeah, so let's choose a model. I think GPT-4o Mini should be cool, right? What model do you all like? Please comment down below. Or we use GPT-4o. Yeah, it's GPT-4o. Okay, cool. So let's look at the output. I think we should be good on the output. We shouldn't really need anything. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we are going to send the exact outline that it wrote, obviously, right? So Telegram, you see send a message. What we're going to actually do is we're going to send a message and wait for the response. Because what if it gives us a horrible outline, right? We're going to make it so it doesn't give us bad outlines, but let's just say it ever does. Go send a message and wait for response. So chat ID, the chat ID we're gonna have to copy from one of these right here, just because we don't have the ID in that workflow as of right now. This is the first Telegram message, so we're just gonna paste it right there, and we are going to write a message saying, let me test this. So we need to get the output. Let's get the output. All right, so we got the output. So now you go on Telegram. You see the content right here. So we can say, Here is the outline. And now we can just do hello. All right, expression. Here is the outline for your video. Cool. So this will be the outline, right? So we test it. You see right here, look at that. I didn't really give it a topic though, but I guess it generated a script just for funsies. So I think we're good on that. See how it was waiting? So I was waiting for some sort of like result, right? So what we're gonna do is after it gives us the outline, we're gonna add an option to approve it. So type of approval, approve and disapprove. So if it approves or declines, right? So now we're gonna have a switch just like we did last time. Let's say approve. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so if approved is Boolean is true, then do something. And then we're also gonna do if approved is false. Okay. So in this case, it's true. So approved, true for output 0. Output 1 is empty, right? Because it's true. So this one got hit. All right. So now, if it's true, what are we gonna do if it's true, right? If it's bad, if we decline the outline, we're just gonna send a message saying, sorry, the outline was not to your liking. You can make this agent try again and be creative with it. For now, we're just gonna have a sorry, I didn't do a good job message, right? But if it does do a good job, which I believe our agent will, we are going to, we are actually going to send it to our editor. Because what happens is once you have your video outline, you can send it to your editor, and your editor can start creating some B-roll, some like cool edits in the meantime before you just sit down and record. So once you actually record, all the media is already there. It's just plug and play. It'll take your editor like 2 hours to finish your video, and you can start uploading videos every single day and go crazy with it, right? And that's the beauty of AI agents. It makes everything more productive. So let's do Gmail. And let's do send a message. All right, so we're gonna, it's kind of similar to what we had before. But what we're gonna do is have the same subject. So new outline for upcoming video. Email type will be text. And we're gonna pretend our editor is this same person who's reaching out to us for our brand deals. Okay, because this is gonna be dynamic because you're probably gonna have only one editor, so you just have it fixed to their email, and then you write a message. So you can say, "Hey," let's say your editor's name is Jolly. Hey, Jolly. Let's say editor is Elon Musk. Hey, Elon. Here is the video outline for the upcoming video. And what you're gonna do now is you're gonna open AI output, put that here, and yeah, that's it. That's your outline. And you can say best Ritesh, right? And this will send an email to your editor, and we can literally test it right now and see if this all works. Okay, look, it sent the message. All right, so let's verify. Boom, there you go. New outline for upcoming video. Now there's some formatting issues with like these double stars. You might not want that, but you can fix that. You can just tell the system for the right here. Hey, when you write this outline, make sure not to include like those stars. So you can just tinker with the prompt and get it to, look like the way you want it to look like. Okay. With that being said, so it sent our email to our editor. So let's save this. And now we can do a full on test end to end and see if everything works. Okay. So let's see. All right. Let's see if it actually calls the copywriter agent like we want it to. So we're going to test the workflow. Write a now using AI agents to build a $1 million business. There you go. Literally this video. Let's see. Okay, so sorry, AI agent is processing it. It should call this tool. Please call the tool. Okay, it's calling the tool. We go to here now. You see right here, it went through the whole flow, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's going through it. It may have just gone through it that quick. You missed it. But let's see. We can verify it. Okay, there you go. It seems like it sent the message. Here you go. Look at that. Introduction, hook. Wow. Understanding AI agents, business planning phase, the framework, marketing and sales, financial management, scaling the business, challenges, consideration. This is a pretty solid outline. A lot of cool ideas. I might even use this for my next video. And I'm going to approve of this. So I'm going to click approve. Okay. And it sent. And it said undefined. And I'm guessing that's because this Telegram right here, it's saying, yeah, there's no output, right? Because remember, our copywriter agent is the one that's actually doing the final result and sending the email. So this Telegram bot node is going to say what output? There is no output, which is true, right? And you can edit that so there is output. That's really up to you. You might have to have like a conditional saying, hey, if it's null, then send one message. If it's not null, if there is output, to send another message. But let's see if it actually sent the email. There you go. Look at that. Our copywriter agent did what it was supposed to do. Perfect. So yeah, there you go. We have a creator management agent and a creator copywriter agent. They work together to become an ultimate team that will help you create your personal brand that much better. If you want to learn how to create more of these agents for free, check out my free school community. Now you might think I'm some sort of end-to-end genius when I'm not. And to prove that, I will show you one of my mentees, Gleb, who's a high schooler in Japan, and how he created a $5,000 AI agent using just N8N. Gleb did such a good job on his $5,000 AI automation project that he is now working with a client that's willing to pay him nearly 6 figures to build an AI agent using N8N for him. Yes, an $80,000 N8N project. Let's hear what Gleb has to say.
Time span that I've completed it in, right? It was like literally like 3 days.
Right.
And they were like, damn. And then I completed it, and I can actually show you the final like N8N screen. I updated it a lot. Okay, so nice. This is how it currently looks like.
That looks much more complex, which you originally showed us, I remember.
Yes, it looks a little bit more fucked. So basically, I changed the trigger node, right? Before it was a Gmail trigger node, right? And it scanned for new emails delivered. But then I was like, that's inconsistent and I don't like the way it looks. So I changed the Gmail trigger node for a scheduled trigger node, and it triggers every like few minutes, right? Yeah. And instead of grabbing one email at a time, it grabs 10 emails at a time. I mean, I was testing, but it was 10, right?
Right.
So it grabs 10 emails in one singular pull, I mean, I'm still testing, so I'll put it back to 1. Right?
Yeah.
So it grabbed that, and then if it got a return, right, if there's some new reservations, right,
Yeah.
it runs it through an if node, right? If nothing got returned, if nothing got delivered, we do nothing. I split it out, and then there's a merge node later that kind of combines the email and the ID back together, right? So the split out context, the text goes into the OpenAI node. There's a big prompt over here,
Yeah.
right? Very chill, right? And it puts out this, right? And if you can see it, it's a Boolean, right? Is cancellation false? Is time change false? Right? So these are like fail safes, so like some additional features that I've added, right? And then reservation number, just in case, like, I mean, not just in case, it's actually pretty mandatory. If it's like a time change or if it's a cancellation, right? You actually have to find the ID, right?
Yeah.
Of the event, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I have the AI separate the reservation number as well. And then the name, activity plan, there's some rules on how I like them named, right? Time and date, blah, blah, blah. So it just like separates into JSON, right?
Yeah.
Then it runs through this thing, right? It separates it into a different format, right? And then there's a lot of if nodes. Boom, right? Right. If for some reason it didn't get a reservation time, right? For example, maybe it's not a reservation email that it grabbed, right? It's like an advertisement reservation from the company that they're working with, right? Then it won't get the reservation data. It will pass it on to a Telegram notification, right? Reservation error alert. This will be put in the bug section of the Gmail, right? And you also get sent a Telegram message. Actually, like, okay, basically at first it was like 50,000 yen per month. It's like what? It's like 300, $400 per month.
Okay.
But today I had a meeting with the guy, and we were like talking about like finally actually like transferring me the money. He was like, we were thinking about not doing it on retainer basis, but like paying you like for like once.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
And the system just kind of runs in the background.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, how much is that? And he's like, $5,000 minimum.
Okay.
He's gonna try to get more. For our first project.
That's good. That's good. Yeah,
honestly,
that's
yeah,
great.
that's not
That's
bad.
great. 5K is phenomenal. If you can get more, that's great. And this is, I think you said there's an even bigger project now. It's like 10 times bigger. That's gonna be working on.
Yes.
So what's that project for? Is it also in the travel space or is it something else?
No, it's completely different. It's actually the complete inner financial workings of a pretty big company. And I talked to them for like 3 hours. They explained their whole like system. I'm like, okay. I took down some notes, right? Right. Wrote down. Made it like simple for me to understand. I understood the whole flow of the system. Google the APIs. It exists.
Okay.
So technically it's possible to make.
You know, as a high schooler, like,
Yeah.
you know, like you buy a Porsche in high school, you're great. So, yeah.
I'm glad.
Gleb is amazing. He spent 3 days building an AI agent using no code and earned him $5,000. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one just like Gleb, then click the first link in the description below. You will be able to work with myself, Gleb, and 65 other mentees like Ron, who also built a $5,000 AI automation through this mentorship program. Okay, now let's get crazy. What if I told you that you can use AI to build entire apps for you? Yes, I'm talking about an AI that acts like a software engineer who works at Google. Hard to believe? Well, I'm about to prove it to you. I'm going to use only Manus AI to create a full stack app for you. If you're not hip with what Manus AI is a revolutionary AI agent built by a Chinese company that can do any task you can possibly imagine. We're talking about research, coding, doing your homework, to fixing a broken heart. Okay, maybe not the broken heart. Now to use Manus, you have to go through an application process, get approved, and not everyone gets approved. In fact, it's so hard to get a hold of Manus that invite codes for are selling for a fortune online. But guess what? Your boy got approved. I have access to Manus AI, so in this video, we're going to put it to the test and see how powerful it really is. I'm going to ask it to build a full stack app for us that we're going to try to sell and possibly make millions off of. Alright, so here's the interface of Manus AI. It's very clean. You can see a lot of different use cases that it has. You got research, life, data analysis, education, productivity, and that's not YouTube friendly. Okay, we have Manus AI, but what are we exactly going to create? The good thing about this is we no longer have to think about ideas. We're just going to ask Manus, what is a trendy but effective? Let's try this again, I guess. Yeah, you better think. You know who's daddy. Look at that. Cool. Okay, so I'm asking it for some simple ideas, and it's looking like it's doing a lot of research. It's running commands in its own terminal. Okay, good. To do some search. See what it gives us. See what it cooks. Stop. Don't judge. We're just going to ask ChatGPT. A good example that Manus is cool, but it's kind of slow. So I think Manus is better for like deep research and, you know, complicated tasks like actually building a full stack app. For the idea generation, we will stick to Sam. So these are some pretty cool ideas, right? I do want to wait for Manus and see what ideas it comes up with and compare, but I'm already liking the idea of AI-powered meeting notes, focus timer. We don't have to do that. Invoice generator. This is also pretty cool. I think this can help a lot for if you have a small business or you're just accepting payment from a client. Yeah, these are some very solid ideas. Wow. All right, it's finally here. We have Manus's ideas. So ChatGPT gave us some pretty solid ideas, but I can already think of 3 of these that I want to go with. But let's see what Manus cooked up. It took 10,000 years anyway, so let's give it a chance. Okay, so it looks like when Manus gives us app ideas, they're pretty thorough. You have description, key features, technologies, everything. The AI-powered personal finance tracker, I'm solid. Subscription management platform. This is also something that ChatGPT mentioned, right? Subscription tracker. Again, front end, back end, database authentication, pretty solid. Freelancer project management tool. Kind of boring to be honest. Local experience marketplace. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Booking and scheduling systems, campaign processing. This is a big app right here. This is the technologies. Health and wellness habit tracker. Again, similar to what ChatGPT gave us. Smart home dashboard. This is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool idea as well. Micro learning. It's like Udemy. Marketplace. Remote communication tools. AR enhanced shopping assistant. Enhance in-store shopping experiences. Yeah, so these are some cool ideas for sure. I think when it comes to the idea generation, ChatGPT is better just because of the fact that it's way faster and the ideas are kind of the same. With all these ideas we have, which one are we going with? So there's TikToks are going mega viral about the Kaizen journal, which is a journal that you can log your physical, mental, and spiritual goals per day, right? One of each. And there's also an anime that I really love called Solo Leveling, where you're leveling up as a person. So we're going to combine this solo leveling as well as this idea of, you know, just tracking your wins throughout the day, and we're going to put it together and we're going to go with the daily goal tracker that ChatGPT gave us. So now that we have our idea, we're going to tell Manus exactly what we want it to create, some of the guidelines that it should follow, and we're going to see what the end result is. So let's X this out. Thank you for the ideas. Here is what I want you to build. I want you to build every day the user can put in a new, every day the goals should be put in a new. Okay, so we have the overall goal setting idea in mind now. We want to make this app fun, right? We're not gonna just make it a boring daily goal tracker. So let's add some sort of like gamification into it. Let's talk about points. If every time after the user hits all of their daily goals, they level up, similar to solo leveling. They level up, and their level should be tracked and visible. The level is persisted. What this means is that every time a user logs in, it's not just going to reset their level. And does not reset. Okay. To level up, let's see what happens when you get level 10. You should be able. Dark thing. I don't know. We'll give this the prize. I mean, in order to check it off. Because then we don't want users just to say, yeah, I prayed today when they didn't actually pray. So take a picture of your holy book. Do what you got to do. Now for the UI, use shad CDN components. Make it clean like Stripes UI. Let's also find some pictures. Daily goal tracker UI. Let me do this. Users should also be able to input their information in a profile section. Hello, user's name. A motivational quote. Okay, so cool. Shad CDN is a very popular component library. So see right here, it's very clean, very nice looking. So I definitely want our app to use this component library. And Stripes UI, if you guys are familiar with Stripes, it's super clean, very pretty to look at. Make this dark theme. Actually, let's not. You can decide if you want this light or dark theme based on the colors. Okay, so yeah. All right, let's do this. Boom. Please don't yell at me. Please say yes. I will do this. I don't like how long it's taking. Okay. All right. It sounds very positive. I'm excited as you are. All right, so we ran into a little bit of an issue. It stopped working. What on earth? Okay, so said Manus has stopped because the content's too long. Please start a new chat. Can you continue development? Keep it simple. God damn! So it has a login page made. Okay, it has a lot of things made already. API usage, register application, components. It has a dashboard, gift card reward, goal history card. Okay, so it looks like maybe we gave it a little too much for the first go. So we gotta keep it a little simpler, right? We did it. We officially got Manus to create the web app. All we had to do was change the prompt to this. Right, this was concise enough, not too long, so Manus could understand it, develop it, because there is a time limit of some sort where if there's too much information you're giving Manus, it's not built well enough to actually do everything you're asking, right? I guess it's still in like a beta stage, so there's some limitations. But with this prompt, it was able to build the entire web app. So now we're gonna see how good it is. Boom, we have our app live. Okay, first impressions is pretty cool. It's matching a solo leveling theme. We got the levels right here. We got the motivational quote from solo leveling: I arise and I alone level up. Track it daily goals and level up. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, let's enter spiritual goal. Let's say pray at night. Physical goal, hit chest day at the gym. And then mental goal, let's say, I don't know, solve today's Wordle. Is that a mental goal? I think so. Set goals. Okay, now we can check each goal off. So let's say pray at night, checked. I have not hit chest day yet. And I have solved today's Wordle. So, oh, it looks like we see an error. So right now I can't check off each of them. So for some reason it's not letting me check each goal. So that's one error that the app has. So we can manage to fix that. Let's check the profile. Age, let's say I'm 24. Location, say New York. Bio, I am a content creator and techpreneur. Interest, AI, content creation, building businesses, mentoring, since I mentor others how to develop their own agents. Profile saved successfully. Go to goals, go to profiles again. Oh, everything is saved. Cool. Hunter. So I got points since I completed the pray at night goal. Hit chest agent. So I can't solve these two. So aside from the error of not being able to check those two check boxes, everything else worked perfectly and smoothly. In this video, I'm going to try OpenAI's new AI agent, Codex, so you don't have to. I mean, who's spending $200 a month for this? I am. For you guys. In this video, we are going to test Codex's ability to answer questions about code bases, write error-free code, debug problems, and overall speed and efficiency. Now, one thing OpenAI noted is that Codex is not production ready. It is still in its research preview state. In other words, everyone who is testing Codex on their private code bases is basically giving away their code for free. I know OpenAI is just laughing in a corner right now. So to test Codex, I'll be giving it the code base of InstaDM. Now, this code base is pretty large. And what this tool does is it helps users send mass DMs on Instagram. So if you're a small business and you need to send maybe 500 messages a day on Instagram, doing that manually would suck, but having AI agent like InstaDM, it will make everything much easier. Now, like I said, the code base is very large for this. Like I'm just talking about folders upon folders upon folders. So if Codex is really him, it should be able to understand the entire code base. It should be able to write code and add to this and basically help InstaDM become a better agent. Yes, I'm using an AI agent to help build another AI agent. Welcome to 2025. So to use Codex, you'll go to ChatGPT and you'll see this Codex tab right here. You click that, it's going to open Codex, move faster, and we click get started. All right, so you can see draft GitHub PRs in parallel. So Codex is basically your software engineering agent, right? That's meant to do everything that a software engineer can, the ultimate replacement, to be honest. It can navigate code bases, it can run lints and tests, and it's fine-tuned to work on large code bases. Well, we will be the judge of that. So to use it, I'm guessing you have to set up MFA, multi-factor authentication. Which I should be, okay. All right, and we are authenticated. All right, so we can connect to our GitHub account. So authorize that. All right, so setup is pretty easy. For GitHub organization, let's see if this loads up. Okay, let's just. So we have our repo added, continue. All right, so we can do multiple tasks, right? We can ask it to explain our code base to a newcomer. So let's say a new software engineer was being onboarded, a new developer was hired for this. They could understand the code base just by asking Codex directly. Codex can also code, so it can, code for us as an engineer could. And it can also try to debug it, fix code comments, documentations, and improve testing. So let's check off. Oh, wait, so yeah, we'll do all the tasks. So one cool thing about Codex is that each task is in its own container. So if you're familiar with Docker, Docker is a platform that code runs in a entire environment by itself, right? So it's separate from like your computer, essentially. So imagine these 3 tasks being done without blocking you. Like I can still do other things. I can just add tasks as I go. Now, as a founder, let's say you own an agency or you have your own SaaS, instead of having to hire a full-on dev team, you can just treat each task as an engineer, you know? So like this one is trying to find issues, this one's fixing important bugs, this one's explaining code base structures, right? And right now you can, sync multiple branches. Like you can work off the main branch, which is obviously you do not want to do, but there's also other branches. So let's say if I go to GitHub and I add another branch, just like in software engineering, each developer would have their own branch. I can just have different tasks work on different branches, and once the task is done, I can just merge everything together, right? So let me go to main. Okay, it's not coming up right now, but I wonder if I refresh, will these tasks still be up? Yeah, so like I said, this is on the cloud, it's on the GPT cloud, so these tasks will continuously run. I can probably exit this out and come back later and just see if the tasks are done. So we're just waiting for that. See the new dev branches are also up, which is great. So okay, while this is being done, let's look at some other things. So if you look at this post from OpenAI, we can see the benchmark test for Codex, right? So the other models, right, we're looking at software engineering tasks, O1 high, 11% accuracy, right? O3 high, which is obviously liked a lot by a lot of people, 70%. Codex beats all of them, which is actually pretty crazy. Now, we look at the benchmark exams, right? It's kind of on par with O3 high, right? You don't see anything too crazy in terms of a difference, but the idea that you can work on tasks in parallel, right? Almost like each task is its own developer, just makes Codex way more practical for a lot of users, right? This will absolutely change the game of creating a SaaS, because you don't have to spend so much time doing every task by yourself, right? So you can see right here, everything is done. It looks like a bug was found. And we can see the code directly here. Check sign user, check subscription. Okay, so it renamed it. It made it sound a little better. I like that. Check sign in user, check subscription. Let's see, is this correct? Yeah. So it should be check subscription since it's in this function, right? So this is good. Now we can ask it to make more changes, or we can just go with this one. Now, say I want to push, right? I can create a new PR. I can create a PR draft, do a git apply, do a copy patch. Now, let's say I create a new PR. This will be sent to my GitHub directly. At least I think. I mean, I don't view it. Okay, so now, yep, you can see it's the changes there. I can merge pull request. Confirm merge. Now, this was, okay, so, wow, Codex made its own branch too. Okay, I was kind of nervous that this is on the main branch. Like I said, you don't ever want to make changes on the main branch directly. But no, it was actually made on Codex's own branch, which is actually really cool. Wow, good job, Codex. Was not expecting you to be that smart. I can't lie. Can't lie. All right, so that's cool. Now we can go back. All right, cool. So what else did it do? So found some issues, a typo in function, delete all from ban list. Oh yeah, the E. Ew. Okay, this was fixed. It fixed the README, missing tests. All right, so we're missing tests. So it says suggested tasks. So it will actually give you tasks like, hey, if you want to fix this, activate it. So let's say I wanna add a test. So I'm gonna click the code button. And I can view the task. All right, and this task is being ran right now. Okay, so we see these tasks are being run now. Let's say I want to archive this because this is already, I looked at this already too. I can explain the code base. I haven't looked into this yet. Let's see. DM. That is correct. That is correct as well. Wow. This is actually really great explanation. I'm not gonna lie. This would help a new developer working on this project a lot. This is the core function right here, right? And it identifies it properly too. It's a core routine. Yep, this function right here does the main logic of my SaaS, and is able to see that. Wow. It even targets IPC communication, which is not a popular operation among developers. And then, yep, puppeteer automation. This is the backbone of the software. And you can see how to learn more. Yeah, this is actually a really good explanation on Codex's part. I can't even hate on it. Good job. Good understanding. All right, so let's go back. So this is creating a test. Okay, now let's try this. So we look at InstaDM, right? We see these buttons, right? I wonder how effective will Codex be to actually make certain changes that I specifically asked for, not the ones that I recommend. So this create task button is kind of grayed out. I want this to be more apparent. So I kind of want the start task button to be green. I want this create task to be blue. Okay, so if I say, let's put this on the dev1 branch, because again, we don't want this to merge into main, and we can say in the send page of InstaDM, the start task button is bluish. Wow, the create task button is, it looks kind of transparent, no? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. We have on dev1 branch, this way we can separate, right, the tasks and make sure we're not operating on the main branch, and we can click code. And because this color feature is different from this test, like the code shouldn't intermingle, right? These tasks shouldn't get in the way of each other. So, as the person orchestrating all these tasks, you also want to keep in mind that, hey, maybe I shouldn't have two tasks running on the same code exact file at the same time, because that can result in some problems, Okay, so this looks like it's in the committing changes step. It's reading the test log. Okay. Yeah, so now we will wait and see how long this will actually take. Because this one took 3 minutes. Wow. So within 3 minutes it was done. A developer should be able to change the colors of the buttons within, I'd say, 3 minutes, right? In terms of locating it, changing the colors, making sure they're good. I'm very curious to see how long it takes Codex. But while we wait for that, let's check this out. So you see there's a lot of code added because we had absolutely no test in the past. Failed to run jest. Looks like there's a failure in actually testing it. So I added a lot of code, but the actual testing of it failed. Let's see why. And this is pretty cool. It gives you the logs right in the chat. So it tells you why. This will stop working the next major version. Just not found. So it's a just not found. And we can ask directly why it's not working. Got an error. When running. We'll say ask. Okay, so looking at the error as to why it was not working, it needs an agents.md file. Yeah, so one thing about Codex is it needs an agents.md file. Agents.md, yeah. Yeah, so we have to make sure that in the agent.md file we correctly input that as a part of our code base, because without it, it's not going to be able to run properly. So we will do that. Before we do that, let's see if this, let's go back here. So this is still running. Okay, so let's add the agent.md to the code base. All right, so I have the agent.md created. Let me just capitalize that. Cool, and this exact template for my agents.md can be found. So you see right here, you go to the classroom and you go to prompt engineering and you will see the templates at the bottom of this right here. So yeah, pretty cool. So just head over there if you want to get the template for that. But otherwise, we'll commit our changes. Commit directly to the main branch, and it should be here. Yep, agents.md, perfect. So let's see if it can capture the update. It will know that in main I just added that addition. But yeah, so we see 7 minutes ago the button color was changed. I'll be honest, it should be less than that because I was working on an h.md file. So yes, looks like 4 minutes and 30 seconds is all it took. And if we look at the actual changes in the code, so background was transparent, right? And this is for energy border. Yes, this is the create task button, and now it's blue, background blue. And everything else looks the same. So there were no unnecessary changes made. Everything was as planned. So we go to this one, okay, and see the right here transparent. Now it's green. This is for on click. It was click send. Is this the correct? Update the send button to use a green background. Okay, so it looks like it got confused, right? Because I said in the send page, the start task button is bluish, while the create task button looks transparent dark, right? So turn the start task button to green, the create task button to blue. Instead, I turn the send button to green background and settings button to blue background. So it completely changed the wrong buttons. It was wrong. So I have the OpenAI app downloaded on my phone, and you can literally track the tasks from your phone. Like, look at that. Isn't that crazy? So if you're outside playing basketball or at the mall, you think of a cool idea, a cool feature to add to your SaaS, maybe a change, you can quickly go on your phone, tell Codex to create that feature or do that change, and it will start a task in the GPT cloud and just start working on it right away. So by the time you come back home, the task will be done. It'll be created. Okay, so that task didn't work out. So Codex is 0-1 right now. Next task we're going to do is we are going to change all of these buttons that say Prev to Previous, just because Prev seems kind of like informal, right? So I like the idea of just having it say Previous instead, right? So what we're going to ask is Previous. Now, this is clear enough where Codex should be able to decide or understand what it needs to do. Now, it's not too specific, right? But I think if Codex is good enough, it should be able to make this change appropriately. And I know for guarantee that Prev is definitely right there. Like, there's no reason it can't, find Prev. Okay, so let's open this. Let's see how long this will take. Oh, it changed it that quick. Look at that. Prev button. Look at that. So it found Prev and changed it to Previous. And there you go. Everything is done that quick. Wow. So it looks like only one change was made. So just that one button. exactly what was asked for, which is great. Let's do a push. Create a new PR. And then we can open our PR. Yeah, and then let's update that. Cool, and now we have the prev button label to previous. So that was a simple fix. It was done well. So now we're gonna do a very big task, very big ask. In fact, I would be shocked if Codex is able to do this, just because it is kind of hard, right? This is kind of an overhaul of the entire database. So instead of Firebase, I want to transition to Supabase. Migrate the code of. Okay, so now I'm telling it, don't actually change all the code, please. Don't break everything. But if I asked you to, make that file, I wanted to see how effective it is. Now, this is, like I said, this is a big task, right? And I'm very curious to see how good Codex is for this. If this works, it'll be one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because if Codex is able to literally overhaul a authentication from Firebase to Supabase, which is something that would take an engineer maybe like hours to do, we might actually see AI replacing software engineers at a crazy speed. After so many failures, you see that it just kept on trying to process everything, but the output is too long every single time, right? It says failed, output from session shell might be corrupt, tried again later, due to large output, failed. And then eventually was able to go through, and you'll see right here, it added extracted line numbers, grabbed the line of Supabase entry. Yeah, so it added everything that was needed. But it looks like, obviously we didn't give it a Supabase key, right? We didn't add a key in the environment, but the code itself, if you look at the code, we see the package.json, and just added the 2 lines, and it made a new file, Supabase auth.typescript.ts. It set up a basic boilerplate. So you got sign with email. Okay. I'd say this, for the amount of time it took 8 minutes, 35 seconds to do this. It's pretty simple. I don't think this boilerplate it made is anything too complex. Shouldn't have failed so many times. Definitely should not have taken 8 minutes. So I think Codex, while it is a great tool to, get some tasks done, especially in like the explanation part of things, right? I feel like on the older tasks, when we had it like find issues and debug, and we had to just explain things, it was able to, explain everything pretty well. Like, say right now, if we ask it, describe the proxies feature of this code base, it will do a pretty good job. And here is the explanation. You see right here, proxy management, find the proxy stores, do the application state. Okay, so it breaks down how proxies are set up and each part of it throughout the application. Talks about different data structures and how we have, for example, proxy stored in an array. Talks about how it's being used. So each proxy is being attached to a puppeteer instance, which is correct, right? Talks about different modes of proxies. Talks about how it's being applied in the UI side of things. See the IPC message. So this switches to enable proxies and choose whether each login profile has its own proxy. So it's actually able to explain like how proxies are being used at a per task, per profile basis. So the explanation is just great overall. The proxy feature allows users to manage their proxies, assign different proxies per login, test proxy via separate browser windows, and toggle proxy usage when running automated tasks. It got everything perfectly right. The ask feature on Codex is amazing. I think it's one of the best, right? The code feature needs work. That's honesty. I'm going to build and sell an AI app completely from scratch. From app idea to market validation, to actually building the app, to thinking of content marketing ideas, to creating the marketing campaigns, to finally getting our first paying customer. Everything will be shown step by step live. And the catch is I'm challenging myself to do all this within the next 10 hours. The reason I'm doing this is to show you all how easy it is to build, launch, and profit off an app without having to be a coding genius or needing 10 extra hours a day. So now when it comes to actually thinking of what app we want to create, I love starting with ChatGPT and just asking it, what are some cool app ideas? So what are some cool app ideas, simple, that I can build within a day using AI tools? And we are going to be leveraging AI tools to help us build whatever we're going to build. So we want to keep that in mind, right? Again, we're trying to think of a simple app that we can just launch within 24 hours. Let's say the app should have some sort of, that's good. Let's see what it says from here. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't know how much people will be able to handle this. AI flirting coach. Okay, startup idea rater. That's actually not a bad idea, creating a startup idea rater. I like the AI flirting coach too. But if kids are watching this, I don't want to. This isn't very profitable. Remember, we're trying to think of an app idea that can actually make money. I don't know if people will pay to get roasted, to make excuses or rate their startup idea. I think the flirting coach has legs. This can potentially result in people paying. So right here, let's write down the ideas that we're looking at. I generate a table. So idea, rating. So we have the AI flirting coach. Let's also add another column for profitability. Let's see how profitable we can actually make this app, right? AI YouTube thumbnail rater. People could pay for that. That might be very basic though, but I do like the idea. In fact, I like this more than the AI flirting coach because everyone nowadays is trying to be a YouTuber. Meme generator for product pages. This can help with marketing. This could definitely help with marketing. I think it's another column. Let's call this simplicity rating, right? And then profitability. Selfie to anime filter. This is not bad. AI story from your drawing. People probably won't buy this. Cover letter, very basic. People can just ask ChatGPT to do this themselves. Why pay for a service? AI affirmation, homework explainer, conversation starter app. I do like this idea, this AI affirmation generator, because a lot of people, you see a big wave on TikTok right now where people are talking about just positive affirmations, Kaizen journal, and all this positive spiritual like work, right? And one of the biggest ideas when it comes to thinking of what idea you want to create an app around is, what are people looking at on social media right now? What are people consuming, right? What are the most modern trends? So AI flirting coach, I'll give this a 3 out of 5. Simplicity, I think it's pretty straightforward, so I guess a 5 out of 5. Profitability, I'd say 3 out of 5, maybe a 2 out of 5. I don't think many people pay for this. Thumbnail rater, I think that's pretty good. Simplicity, solid. Profitability, solid. Meme generator for product pages, cool idea. Pretty simple. I see this is pretty profitable. Affirmation generator, it's a okay idea, right? I guess it is fitting modern trends. Very simple. I don't know how profitable it is. So based off of this, it looks like the meme generator is pretty good. And so is a thumbnail rater. But the meme generator beats out the thumbnail rater. So just off of this simple matrix I built, we're looking at the top idea to be the meme generator. But there's some other things as well that we can look at. So I guess in our first round we have this. But let's see if we can go on Instagram and just go to people's stories, reels, and just see what what ads we get. Sometimes I like to create a software out of the ads that I get, right? It gives me ideas. So yeah, the one problem is you can get distracted quite easily when you're looking for ideas off social media. So this is supposed to remove my overthinking. Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of these different listen to this sound to clear your mind or to make you feel better, make you feel less anxious. And I don't see much of this on the internet, at least. Maybe marketing isn't as high for these type of products. But if I can look at, let's say, AI sound generator for anxiety. Let's see. Um, see AI voice generator tools. Let's see. 11 Labs generate sounds. If I ask it, generate a calming tune. So after just doing some research alone, it looks like here, let's ask ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT said this is a brilliant idea. It also gives us a nice breakdown how to build it in a day. For now, generate sound button, optionally mood history, save favorite tones. Okay, so we can use a web audio API in JavaScript to generate these frequencies. We don't have to really worry about that because we're going to be using an AI tool to do it for us anyways. But I do like this idea. Let's run with this a little bit. Let's compare with the meme generator. So let's say AI sound generator. The rating I would say is a 4 out of 5, right? It's very simple. Profitability. Actually, I think it's not that profitable, but the rating is pretty. I'd say I get a 5 out of 5 idea because it's not overly saturated. Meme generators, there's just a ton of them in the market right now. With AI sound generators, I think it's still fresh. I see more coming now, more of these apps, coming out, and I can kind of already see the content around this where I can just play a sound on like an IG reel. It can go viral, and I can have the app in bio saying, hey, if you want to listen to this sound or based on how you're feeling, find the sound that fits for you, you can just go to my web app, right? So I'm already seeing the vision for AI sound generator. The meme generator is still a great idea. If you're watching this and you want to go with the meme generator, go ahead and do it. And tag me. I want to see what you finally create. But let's look at some competitor research. What are the top competitors for this app? There's no exact app that's doing what we're proposing, but there's some close competitors. So Calm is one that I heard about. LeBron James endorses it. Okay, Noisily Mubert. Let's check out Brain FM. So Brain FM. Creativity, learning, focus, relax. So how many reviews do they have? Let's see. Says joins millions, so that means there's a lot of people using this app, but apps lie all the time, right? Let's maximize this. Let's try this. Brain.fm revenue. Makes sense. Okay, $1 million, $1 million per year. Okay, Brain.fm. Should be able to see how many downloads, I think, are on the okay. So it has nearly 6,000 reviews on the Play Store, almost 4.5K on the App Store. So we're looking about 10,000 in reviews. We can easily 10x that. Means probably over 100,000 users. Is it a free app? There's a free app with in-app purchases. Yeah, it's pretty solid. It looks really, really pretty. Okay, so there's not that much saturation though. Okay, so the last thing I like to do is go on Instagram. 16K followers. Okay, they do have reels being posted. They're not really going viral. And these reels aren't really doing what I'm saying to do, where we get the sound, just play the sound right away on the reel itself, get them to download. Yeah, so I think we can outmarket this product and be a little more specific to what we're doing. It's not all sounds, it's more just based on your mood, right? It's more mood based sound versus like productivity sound, which is Brain FM. So this idea is really nice. So we're going to run with it. So we should be good. I think we have our idea ready. And now we can just focus on how exactly we're going to build this because we have limited time and we are trying to build this as fast as possible. So what I love to do is leverage the AI tools that are out there. So we got Cursor AI, we got Lovable. For this specific scenario, we'll be using Lovable. So you go lovable.dev. All right, so you can set up a free account on Lovable if you want to, but now what we're going to be doing is writing our idea and create a nice specification about it, like how exactly we want it to look like, the features. But in order to show you how we want it to look like, we actually have to design it ourselves, right? So let's hop on Miro. All right, so when we think of the design for the app, let's make a square. Let's say it's a web app, right? So it's like this. And we will have a box of some sort that goes like right here. Make this a little thicker. Okay, and we have like a nice blue theme because blue is like supposed to be calming for people. Okay, so this would be like the text prompt. This is where we enter the text. So we'll say enter text here. So like, how are you feeling? And this will be an AI, right? This will be like where the user types in how they're feeling. We'll have maybe some presets of how they're feeling, like right here. So like they can just type in, let's see. So like, let's say we had like calm, right? Anxious. So some preset feelings. Angry, sad. Yeah, cool. And then I'm thinking, and you can design this however you guys want to, right? But I have seen in the past this one website, and right away you see I'm looking at different competitors, different products that aren't even related to what I'm creating, but just I like getting inspiration from like other people and other companies. So I like how, let me just mute this. In this demo of this voice AI agent, they have this like bubble, right? That it's speaking, it's like radiating these waves as the AI speaks. So we're gonna try to copy this, to be honest. So I can just copy that, right? And paste that here. So this would be like the AI. Play this here. So this would be like the sound wave that's kind of going through the AI as it as the sound plays, right? It'll kind of go through it. The logo, the app logo right here. Yeah, I think this should be good. Okay, so one thing we're also gonna need is when the sound plays, we can have the users, like let's take a play button. All right, so this is our final design that we're gonna feed to our AI. We're gonna have the logo. This is the actual web app. We're gonna have a prompt that actually asks the person, how they're feeling. So this is where the end user will enter their information. They have some presets. They can say they're feeling calm, anxious, angry, sad. This will be like a little sound wave that comes out, the actual frequency that's being played, right? Kind of show that sound is playing, and this will be the control. So you can pause the sound, you can increase or decrease the volume. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a screenshot of this, go to Lovable and feed it into there. And now we can think about the features for our app and actually tell Lovable to build our app. This is how we want the UI to look like. And we'll also tell the features that we want for it to include. Okay, now to actually describe what we want our app to look like / do, we're going to feed this into ChatGPT and we're going to ask it to reword it for Lovable AI, because AI likes a certain way of being prompted and not everyone really knows how to. So it's best just to ask another AI to figure out the best prompt, and then you could then pass into whatever AI builder you're using, like Lovable, Cursor, whatever, right? So I mentioned that I'm going to pass a feature doc, right? A feature doc is what a service provider, like app builders or app developers like myself, my software development agency, we get from clients. Clients will give us a feature doc that will list all the features they want in the app, and then myself or my team will build it out for them and give it to them, right? In this case, the Lovable is the service provider and I'm the client. So I'm going to give it the feature doc and have it create what I want it to create. Well, it wasn't as thorough as I thought it would be. I feel like it's pretty much the same what we just said ourselves, but here. Please design this. Also, I attached a rough sketch of how I want the UI to look like. Keep the design minimalistic, blue and black, so a dark theme. And what else do you want? Design minimalistic, a nice dark theme, and use Shad CDN components. Now, for those who do not know what Shad CDN is like modern components for any website. It just looks so clean and beautiful. Like, look how amazing this looks like. Top companies use Shad CDN. So whenever you're using AI, tell it, use Shad CDN. All right. Okay, cool. I think this is good. Yeah. All right. So now we'll wait to see what Lovable gives us. And while that's working, we can ask ChatGPT to generate a logo for this project, as well as give some app idea names. Now for app idea names, let's look at some competitors. Calming apps. So let's see what else exists right now. You have Calm, Smiling Mind, Happier, Bootify, Insight Timer. We want something that can go viral. All right? Whenever you're creating an app, you always want to think, how can this go viral? How can marketing make this go viral? Okay, whether it be the name, whether it be the actual features of it, the more, the better, right? Because in today's age, an app goes viral, you make a ton of money, you sell it for 6 figures, multiple 5 figures, whatever, right? Chillax, bro. No, let's say all right, that's working. Don't need this. Mood wave. Boring. Gen Z, Gen Alpha names. Freaks, Envy, Soon, Fila. What? This sounds like gibberish. Sounds like someone doesn't know. Someone didn't go to English class or something. What is? Oh, wavy. Am I just getting old? Chill Gen. Alright. Aura. Aura. Everyone talks about aura. I like the idea of aura. Something around aura. Aurify. Like Spotify for your aura. You want positive aura. You want calm aura, right? You want to talk about what aura you want, right? So let's try. I like Aurify. I like Aurify. We'll go with Aurify. If you think it's a horrible name, roast me in the comments. Tell me it's horrible. All right, so now we get the logo for it. In the meantime, it's still working. Ah, okay. We will also have to tell it to add user authentication. So like user login, something we did not tell it yet, but that's something we can do at the end, right? Oh, it looks like, never mind, we did. Okay, cool. Aurify. I like this logo. Man, which one looks better? They both look really clean. Ah, I'll try this one. This one, Aurify. Yeah, this looks cool. Let's do this one. All right. Okay. Looks like we have something we can try. Let's try. I am feeling pretty sad. Okay, so right now we have absolutely no idea what sound it's playing. Of the text box that prompts user to a similar size that of ChatGPT / lovable prompt. Also, add a label of the sound that is being played and a quick description as to why. Move the above the prompt text box. So I'm going to just change up the look of it. Also, I added the logo of the app. We're going to attach, oh, that's the wrong one. We're going to attach this app, Aurify. The name is Aurify. What the sound is for? All right, I think this is good. Here, so now we're gonna tell it to kind of change the look of it, just because we don't really like the look too much. It's not bad. Like, I do think this is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I'm not hating on it, but it can be a little bit better. I think it's just not good enough right now. So we now got a better design, and I really am liking this design more. Add more space between the voice controls and the prompt box / mood tabs. We'll call these the mood tabs, right? Also, let's say make the generate frequency button less long and have the text be generate. Now, I could go in and manually just make these changes myself, because all I would be doing is increasing the margin between here and changing the text of this and making this less long, which is extremely easy to do. And in cases like this, like these very small fixes, I would just manually do it. I wouldn't really just ask the AI to do it, but I'm actually curious. I want to see if the AI can figure it out. Also, for the logo, just have the big text with the icon next to it. Right now, it says RFI twice. The play button and voice control on the same horizontal row, because right now I don't like how it's structured like top to bottom. So I like this. I'm actually happy with this right now. We have the prompt, we have the generate button, we have the frequency. All right. Does this make you calm? I don't know if this makes you calm. So I'm feeling anxious. We want to see if the frequency is actually changing or if it's just by default using the same exact frequency every time. Okay, it's not. Good vibes. So much good vibes. The overall app is working perfectly, exactly how you want it. I like the look of it. Just gonna do some little nitpicks. It's like the last step of the build process, aside from the user opt and actually adding payments, right? So we can actually get paid and make money off of this. Add a blue glow around the border of the prompt box. So we're add this blue glow, and then after that we'll set up the login. For login, we have to connect to Supabase. So while Lovable is working, we are going to set up our database for our apps. We can store user accounts and make sure people log in, they can actually log in and they don't get kicked out. So to do that, you go to Supabase. It's free. Use a free plan. Create a new organization. I'll name this RFI. Create organization. All right. Let's make a password. All right, so our project's created. All right, so we have our account, our database set up. Right now, if you go to table editor, this is where we're actually be adding tables. All right, so now we're just waiting for the project to be fully set up. And once that's done, we can add our first table. And the table is where all the data is being held. All right, so our table is set up. Yeah, the first thing is to build out our database. So go to table editor. We have no table. We can create a database table, but we're actually going to ask the AI to do this part for us as well. So we have everything set up from the database perspective, at least for now, and everything else, again, we're asking the AI. All right, so we have this nice blue glow that we asked for, which is great. The blue glow here is not present. But for now, I guess we can just ignore that. Sorry, I got distracted. This app is just actually really good. The logo is still kind of messed up. I might just fix that myself. But all right, now let's connect Supabase to this. So we're gonna connect Supabase to our application, authorize Lovable. All right, so now Lovable is connecting to our database. All right, it's connected. Connect right there. Connect your project that you just made. All right, it's connected. Perfect. Okay, so now to handle user. So we're gonna ask Lovable to just do all the work in each Supabase. So set up the database table to handle user authentication, accounts, and anything else that's needed. All right. Okay, so this is where it's gonna hopefully set up the Supabase correctly. And after this, all that's left to do is figure out how we're gonna get paid for this. And then we're gonna market this. So right now it's adding a ton of tables for user profile, there's sound preferences. We don't need all of that. So let's keep it simple, no need. All right, so it was getting a little too crazy. Again, want to keep it simple for now. We don't have to save the user's preferences or anything like that. Let's just remember, we're trying to build an MVP, so a minimum viable product that we can bring to market, get some early payments, and then if it's validated in terms of we're actually making money off of it, even a little bit, we can always refine it, make the app better, add more features, make it look cooler, right? Afterwards. But first, let's get just a couple of payments first. All right, so okay, so it says for domain purposes, you might want to disable email verification, Supabase constant authentication settings. Now let's enable it actually. We don't want users to just make a ton of accounts, right? And try to circumvent having to pay in case you ever have a free trial or whatnot. Okay, so looks like everything is good. Okay, so it looks like everything is set up. Are the tables made in Supabase? Actually, let's just check. Let's check the tables. I don't know. Yes, there's no tables that have been made yet. What is it doing? Can you make the user tables? Supabase. Login and sign up. Right now, we're not seeing our tables made at all, right? So we need Lovable to actually add the database tables that are going to hold the information of our users, like their login and password. Yeah, so they weren't actually executed yet. Okay. Okay, apply changes. Okay, it looks, please run it. So now Lovable will actually run the SQL for us that will make the database tables here. Okay, cool, looks like everything's good. To verify, we go Supabase, refresh it. All right, let's see. We see the user profiles table. Okay, so let's trust the login. So let's try logging in. It should not work, right? So let's do password, blah, 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 blah. Sign in. Okay, perfect. Did not work. Let's do sign up. We're gonna make an account, password, whatever, create account. All right, we're gonna go to our email, verify this. We got the confirmation email, confirm our mail. Oh, so it's not live, so it's not gonna work. Okay, that makes sense. But it looks like the account was made. if I do login, oh, it is login. Sign in. Boom, I'm signed in. All right, it worked, perfect. And I see our emails right there. So let's say I am feeling very sad because my grades are low in school, and actually because I cannot find a job, right? That's the trouble most people in tech are facing right now. Okay, sad frequency. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, that's cool. Interesting. Yeah, no, this is amazing. I love the fact that I can just generate the sounds on the fly. All right, so we have auth ready. Auth is inside. We have the actual look of our tool. The logo is still kind of funky. We can fix that. The last part to make this all work, because remember, all that's separating this website from being ours to visible to you and everyone else is this publish button, right? So with the database set up, the app working, what we have to do now is set up the actual payment side. So to do that, we're going to be using Stripe. Now with Stripe, I am using my old app / SaaS that I made and just going to create a new product on it. So what you have to do is go to Stripe, make a product, make an organization if you don't already have one, but create a product. I'll call it Orify plan. We'll have recurring. Let's say we have like $10 a month, something super cheap for now, and we'll add the product. All right, so our product is added, and what we're gonna be doing now is we're gonna ask Supabase. I'm sorry, not Supabase. We're going to ask Lovable to add payment integration. And this is the beautiful part about vibe coding is AI does it for us. Where's the project? Okay, let's just say, I say design a home page where the user. So we're gonna design a landing page for the product. Payment card should link to a Stripe plan of $10 a month for Orify. Once user pays, they should be able to log into their account. Or the real question is, do we want the user to be able to log into their account before they pay or after they pay? Like, should they have to pay to create an account? Yeah, it makes more sense to create an account and then pay, right? So, payment card at bottom. Say payment card at bottom. The user should not be able to use the app unless they have paid for Stripe, or if their email is. This way I personally can test it, because imagine I don't want to have paid $10 a month for a home product. That'd be kind of stupid. Yeah, so if the user clicks buy now on payment card, it should redirect them to the payment page first, or to pay first. Once they pay, then they should be able to use that. Again, let that. Do you need any Stripe details from me? Now I'm asking the AI if it needs any details from my side, because to use Stripe, I imagine Lovable will need either API key or some sort of information to understand that I'm trying to sell this specific product. I think, let's say, maybe turn on developers. Yeah, so I might need one of my API keys, like I said. Okay, cool. So, sure. Let's add API key. All right. Create secret key. All right. So create secret key. Certification. All right. So I'm gonna open Gmail and verify my account. Okay. Enter this code 359 623. We'll call this Orify secret key. Whoa. Don't copy that, please. I will delete this after the video ends. So trust me, you do not want to copy it. All right, add my API key. I'll save that. And now we have level work its magic. All right, so remember, we're asking to design our homepage for the website, add payment integration, and then it should be good to go. We will click publish and it'll be live. It's only been about like 2-3 hours since I started, recording this video and going through this process. Actually, I think it's been about 2 hours. But now after this, we're gonna move on to the marketing side, how to actually market our product and get people to learn about it, right? All right, so it looks like it is going to edit our database, apply the changes. And as this is being developed, it really shows you how level the playing field is now between people who don't know how to code slash have a very small understanding of coding versus coding geniuses. You don't need to be at that coding genius level to create a pretty solid app. If I do say so myself, obviously it can look a little bit better, but it's functional. It's about to have payment integration. It can serve people. It's doing a good thing. It's helping people be calm when they're sad or when they're anxious. So you no longer need to be a coding genius to create these powerful apps. And for the remainder of this video, you're going to be seeing the end process of these apps and how to actually grow it, and you can really turn this into an entire business. And I can't wait to show you guys as soon as this AI finishes. Okay. The payment system is added. One-time payment is $19.99. Project and flow success page. Okay, so I noticed that it did the payment $19.99, but let me ask. Okay, let's say. Okay, I didn't want to be $20 a month. Kind of wanted to be $19.99. Did it change anything in the product catalog? I just don't know if it added a product or not. Okay, it looks like it didn't. It will just charge the person. Okay. Can we change the payment to $9.99 a month? And it's kind of telling us to refactor one of the files because it's getting too long. This means just splitting it up into maybe a smaller file or 2 or 3 smaller files so the code is more organized. We don't have to worry about that for now. No one's looking at our code but ourselves. So if you're totally fine with seeing a long code file, which if that's fine, then go ahead. But otherwise, you can refactor it. But for now, we're not really going to refactor it. Again, this is an MVP. We just want to get this out. Okay, so it's asking us to change certain soup-based secrets if you want to add a webhook. We don't really have to add a webhook right now. All right. Now, where's our live preview? Cool. Subscription active. This is a home page. All right. Let me sign out. Okay, let's say it should not work, right? The whole idea is it's gonna yell at us. Oh, I am feeling sad. Okay, where is the home page? Oh, so this is. this is a home page. Okay. No. So I can. So I'm logged out, but I still see this page, which should not be the case. Or honestly, it doesn't really matter, but it's more so I'm signed out, but I can still generate a sound in the prompt box. Yeah. So after some further refactoring, we got to this point. We had the home page, right? All I really asked it was just complain to it, and it fixed it by itself. So we're actually gonna test it now. So let's click. I guess sign in, login, same thing. Sign in, login. Yep, same thing. All right, cool. So we're signed up with a different email. We don't want to be able to kind of, have a special access to it. Because right now what's happening is the rbbusiness1m@gmail.com is my personal email, and it's letting me get past the login. Like, I don't have to pay for it. So now what we're going to be doing is, all right, so that's confirmed. Okay, we're logging in. So we signed in. All right, we're in. OFI Premium. So we've signed in, and now the goal is to actually subscribe and buy this. So I click subscribe now. It takes me to this. What I presume is Stripe. It looks like it's having some trouble loading the payment field though. Okay. So just click subscribe. Hey, Stripe checkout. Pay without the link. So this is the ultimate test. If I purchase this and it goes through, that means it's ready to be live. It's a crazy feeling. So I just paid, and it took me back to the payment success page. If I continue to Orify, I'm in. Let's do this. Wow, hopefully I didn't burst your ears. I am feeling very happy. I guess that's not, happy. I don't know. Oh, cool. All right, I'm feeling sad. So I like the default frequencies too. So say I'm feeling very motivated. I need more motivation. I need even more. Actually, you know what? I am feeling very excited since my app is ready to go public. I need to be calmed down. I'm so calm. All right, our app is ready to be public. It looks like it's solid. I mean, everything we wanted is right there. Let's sign out. Yep, there you go. I'm logged out. I can't access anything. Perfect. Wow. Okay. This is really good. This is actually really, really good. So now what I have to do real quick is just verify that I actually got the payment. Yeah, so see right here, I'm subscribed. So let me cancel my subscription so I don't keep getting charged. Yeah, let's refund that. Cool, I got refunded. That's handled. All right, so everything is good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna publish this. This is a pretty bad domain, but what are the security issues we have going on here? Okay, I guess it wants more multi-factor authentication options, but again, we don't really, I think we're good with the email verification. To make this a little better, I can add more security, sure, but for now, I will probably just make sure that the database isn't exposed at all, just add more protection there, but otherwise, everything else is solid. Let's publish. All right, it is published. The app is now live. Holy. It's not the domain sucks, right? Now, obviously, I would change the domain, something that I own. But right now, this is what we're looking at. It is amazing what AI can do. I mean, build entire apps for you just by telling some simple commands. That's absurd. In the next two videos, we'll be using AI to code a shopping agent that can buy items from retail stores, as well as a day trading crypto agent. No wasting time because time is precious. In this video, we will create a sneaker bot with Cursor AI. So the first thing you have to do is head over to cursor.com and download the software Cursor so you can use it for your personal needs. It's completely free, right? There's a pricing tier, but just use a free version and you should be fine. Once you do that, you just head over to your Cursor environment. You make a folder on your desktop. I name mine sneaker agent. You can name yours whatever, and you make this file called bot.js, right? So once you do that, you simply do Command I, and it'll pop up this right side tab here, okay? And you see right here, there's agent, ask, manual. Just keep it to agent. What this will do is Cursor AI will write code for us. So this is for all the people who are too lazy to code or you don't have technical experience, right? What we're going to be doing, there's the sneaker bot we will create is for this website right here, OnCloud. These shoes are extremely popular in just overall. I think they just announced partnering with Zendaya, a very famous actress, right? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to create a sneaker bot that can buy these shoes super quick, right? To do this, we have to understand the anatomy of an HTML element. So when you look at HTML element, you have the tag name, you have the attribute name, and you have the attribute value. This is the only thing you have to memorize for this entire tutorial, okay? Is an HTML element has three parts: the tag, the attribute, and the value. To be honest, you probably don't even have to memorize this because Cursor AI is just that powerful. It can do everything for you. But with this in mind, we are going to go to this website, and we see that the process of buying an item on this website consists of selecting a size. Let's say it's 5. You click add to bag, you click checkout, it takes you to the next page, and from here, I guess I can remove this, but I was trying to buy some OnClouds earlier. You simply put in your information, and then you click pay now at the bottom. Straightforward. So, with this in mind, let's go back. We want to make sure our agent first clicks this, then clicks add to bag, then clicks checkout. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to right click this, or right click this, click inspect, and you see right here we can increase this. Let's look at this is what we want to click, right? So we maximize this. We see the span class, we see another span class, see this. That doesn't really matter for us, but this button right here with roll option, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have we can select that first size, so size 5, right? So we're going to see this element right here, right? We're going to copy this element, right? So we're copying this entire element, this entire list box, right, of all these sizes, and we are going to now go to Cursor and tell it the following. First, we're going to give it the website. So at web, and you give it the product page. Okay. Now you say, I gave you the link to the product page. Use Puppeteer.js to write an add to cart function that selects the first size in the drop down. Here is the HTML of the drop down. Oh, so we gotta recopy this. So copy element, you paste it, right? And don't worry about it. I know it looks like a lot, but Cursor AI can handle all of it, right? Then you should click the add. So what is this? The add to bag button. So we're gonna do is click it, and then we're gonna copy element, add to bag button with the following HTML, right? And then what happens is we'll say, see this little delay, right? So then we'll say, then wait 2 seconds, and then click, oh, so again, copy element, so simple, right? Just copy and paste. Then click this button right here called checkout with the following HTML. What I will say is this is a general tip when using Puppeteer.js, which is just a framework that does web automation. Use page.evaluate with document.querySelector.click to click things. This is just JavaScript code. Do this instead of page.click. Page.click is another way to click anything on a browser, but you don't have to worry about that. Let's just let Cursor handle all of this, crazy stuff. And it's quite possible that it make some mistakes, but usually it's pretty accurate, so we just have to change maybe 1 or 2 small things. Let's see what it gives us. You see right here, it gives the entire breakdown of everything. It writes the add to cart function. It breaks it down in multiple steps, right? See, every step that we told it to do, it did the exact same thing, right? It got the correct selector, right? This is a tag, this is the attribute, this is the value. Again, attribute value, attribute value. Yep, see checkout button. So everything looks good here. We're gonna click accept file. What we're going to do here is let's just delete some of these unnecessary comments. And then once we click the size, let's wait like 2 seconds again. I know we didn't tell it to wait 2 seconds originally, but in this case, let's just do that. Click the checkout button. And yeah, I mean, everything looks good, right? So with this saved, we are going to open a new terminal. And so we have to install Puppeteer, right? So let's do npm install. And we're actually going to be using Puppeteer-extra. So let's install Puppeteer-extra. So we have Puppeteer installed. And now what we're going to be doing is add Puppeteer extra plugin stealth. This is a package that makes your browser seem undetectable, right? And see, it's going to just quickly tells you all the changes made. Click accept file, right? So see how it added that for us, and now all we have to do is npm install. So npm install, boom. And we can delete this. Cool. Yeah, so we have everything here. Cool, and now we can run our code and check if it works. Oh, there's an error. Cannot find model Puppeteer core. Okay, so we have to install Puppeteer also. Let's give it some time to wait. one other thing we should do is executable path. This is wrong. It should be like application. Yeah. So if you're on Mac, make sure you add this as an executable path. If you're not on Mac and if you're on Windows, then all you have to do to find it is go to Chrome, -- version, executable path, copy it, and then just paste it right here. Cool. And now let's do node bot.js, and there you go. Let's maximize the browser. See, it selected 5. Okay, so then this little annoying thing came up, this little pop-up, and that's kind of messing with our. Let's X this out. Forgot to bag. Will it click checkout? No. See what it says. Oh, wait for time is not a function. Okay. So now it's saying that this function right here, it doesn't exist, right? So what we're going to be saying is, hey, got an error saying use another way to add a delay of time, right? So they say, okay, sorry, and it looks like it's gonna make some fixes for us. So you'll see how they made a fix. Simply made a JavaScript function, accept file. So now, because this wasn't working, we told Cursor AI and it fixed it for us. Perfect. Now let's rerun it. Oh, see? I added a bag and click checkout. It was so fast, I didn't realize it was finished. So cool. Now we can move on to the shipping function. So what we're going to be doing now is let's minimize this. We know this works, correct? We're going to say here. We are going to. There you go. Div class. We're gonna find. Okay, it looks like we gotta see what this box is right here, right? So it's input ID of name equals first name. Okay, so tag attribute value. We can target this specific input box by saying, hey, type in the input box with this name, right? And we can repeat the steps for each of these, but that's a lot of work. So what we're going to be doing instead is we're going to find the div has all of this, so this right here, and we're going to copy it, copy element, and we're going to say now make a function for the shipping form. The shipping form has the following HTML. Use the following data. So remember, we have to give it actual data to fill this information out, right? So what we're going to be doing is use the following data to type in the fields. First name is Ritesh with last name Verma. Phone number is 410-888-9999. Pick any address in Maryland. We will say Maryland and United States already entered. Enter in drop down and shipping form. So skip that. So skip those inputs. And we're going to press enter. And what it should do, hopefully, is find an address and input all the information into these boxes, right? We missed the email step. So if we just highlight the email step, it's just the input ID equals email. We can add that ourselves. It should be very simple. Look at that. It did that for us. There you go. So see right here, query selector value input. So it typed in each field. I don't usually do this. Puppeteer has a page.type function that usually works, but you know, why not do it this way? At least see if it works. We don't have to. Do you have to save the shipping information? Nah, we don't have to do that. So skip that. Okay. So it'll call the shipping function within this. That's perfect. Now what we need to do is, again, we have to wait for the email field. We gotta make sure we put in our email. So let's do input ID equals email, right? So let's do this. Let's do hashtag email. And I'll show you guys a page.type function. So await page.type. There you go. Right? So it's email, and then you type in the actual value. Cool. Let's close this, and let's check if this works. Yeah, looks like they put like a random address. Let's maximize this, and then it's gonna click checkout. And then typed in that. Look at that. Missing a valid contact method. So what happened here is, it looks like sometimes you can't use JavaScript to type in fields. So it might just be better just to do the .type, right? So what we're gonna be doing is, can you do page.type instead of page.evaluate for typing in fields? The reason this happens is because certain web browsers, they're expecting like key presses, right? Like your keyboard pressing. When you type in Ritesh, it's your keyboard events that are being fired to the computer saying, oh, look, the person's typing on the keyboard. So when you just change the value through JavaScript, it throws the web server off, and they don't actually register your input. So you got to fix that. So let's see what they did. What did they change? So now it's typing, perfect. And look how much cleaner this is. So much simpler, right? Let's see if it works though. Let's maximize the browser. That's back, checkout. It's typing. See, it worked this time, right? It's not yelling at us saying, hey, there's no red text. Everything is good. This step, all we have to do is simply input the HTML for this. But what happens with these payment fields is they're inside an iframe. So this is like one big document. Your web page is one big document. Now imagine a document inside of a document. This is a hidden document, right? That's what an iframe is. So it looks like each of these fields are in their own hidden document. So we have to enter the hidden document first. So to enter the hidden document, we have to jump into this iframe. So, and that's a very sneaky way that websites will get you. Okay, so copy HT element. Let's find the here. So iframe. ID equals number. Okay, so we're going to tell our agent, watch out, there's iframe. So this, now make a function for the payment step. In the payment step, the name is already entered. So the name on card is already entered. So ignore that. But enter values for the card number, CVV, expiry. Beware, each of these inputs are in their own iframe. Okay. Here is the entire HTML of the payment HTML. I don't know what to how to else describe that. So you see that, and there's a lot of HTML here, right? But we're hoping that the cursor knows what to do. Make sure to handle the iframes that each input is inside. Use content frame. Content frame is a function that extracts an inside iframe if needed. Okay, so this is done as well, right? Oh yeah, and then it needs credit card information. Use the following card information. Now, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go to a fake credit card generator website and click generate card numbers. This will pass as a real credit card, but when the credit card actually goes through to place the order, it's going to reject it and saying, hey, this is a fake card. So you can't get away with real purchases with a fake card, but just for testing purposes, it'll work. And it looks like expiration date is month, year, so you'll say 06/26. And you press enter. Let's see. So let's see if they change anything. So they didn't change anything in here. Oh wait, this is a fill payment form. So they didn't change anything in this function. I think maybe, yes, they call the fill payment form function here, right? That's the only thing they changed in here. Okay, look, I think it looks good, except file. Input, interesting. So they're not typing in the actual ID, like they're not saying the ID of each element, right? They just said input. I wonder if that will actually work, but hey, let's try it out, right? So let's try this out. Nope, let's do node. Let's maximize the browser. Just gonna go on checkout. Let's see, we'll type in the fields. Oh, wow. It actually did. No way. But it's not typing in the rest. The question is, why isn't it typing in the rest? Right. Okay, so it typed in the card number, but it did type in the expiration date nor the CVV. So that's a issue, right? The question is why. Let's check this. Inspect. It is not an input. It is an input. So the ID is expiry. So let's try this. Input. Let's specify it. ID equals expiry. And this is CVV. Nope. Verification underscore value. So sometimes cursor will autocomplete it, but in this case it was wrong. So what I'm doing here is some manual effort. I'm retyping, or I'm specifically saying, hey, make sure you type in the input with this ID. It could also be that maybe this doesn't exist. Let's see. Let's see what the iframe is called. Title equals field container for security code. No, that is it. Field container for security code. Yeah. So it should have typed them in. It could be that maybe it needs a longer delay. 2000. Let's wait, 4000 right here. And now let's try running. Sometimes when your agent behaves weird, I just recommend increasing delays so you can get like correct behavior. Because sometimes it just moves so fast the website can't keep up unless you have a really good computer. Okay, so I typed in the expiry. So the expiry messed up on, but everything else was fine. Okay, so we have security code working. We have expiration date typing in, or being typed in, but it's not typing in fully. 606, and then let's try it. 06 and then 24. Okay, so let's go here. 0626. It's going to type in this exact value, but obviously the slash is automatic. So this slash that comes up, I type in 06, it comes up by itself. So I don't have to add it myself, right? Okay. When you're typing too fast sometimes, what can happen is maybe the website wants you to type a little slower, right? So let's check. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, okay, so let's do delay 100, right? So what's gonna happen is it's gonna type a little slower, and that might solve our issue, right? And just to test, once it's done, we will have it click this pay now button. So what is it? Page, what is this? ID checkout pay button. And by this now, we can do this ourselves, right? It's the last part. So let's do await page dot click, right? And then what's the ID? That checkout pay button. Cool. So that's the end, right? So let's see if this works from start to finish. Expiration date now. Okay. Got the expiration date. CUV. Pay now. And we got it. Today we are going to be building an AI agent that trades crypto for us. Why? Well, I know you don't want to sit in front of a computer all day trading Dogecoin just to finish down $1,000. I know you're buying high, selling low.
Oh, it went to zero. Yo! So I got on my
So instead, this AI agent that we are going to build will be trading for us and making us all rich, because let's be honest, who's smarter than AI, right? To test this, after building this agent, I'm going to give $1,000 of my own money to buy and sell Dogecoin. And we're gonna see if it actually makes us rich, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be upset. See, big Wall Street companies like Goldman Sachs, Jane Street, and Citadel have these super high-tech trading crypto algorithms that make them millions of dollars every single day, but they don't share this with anyone. It's all trade secret. So people like us, we just gotta watch TikTok and pray that we buy the correct crypto at the correct time. And I don't know about you, but that's not really working out well. But there is someone who does know these algorithms and is capable of making super smart trades, and that is AI. So now it's time for you and me, because we're in this together, to level the playing field and use AI to create our own super crypto trading algorithm and make a bunch of money. I mean, I hope this works out. Now, we can't go into this blind. We have to do our research so we can find the best trading algorithm to code into our AI agent so that while we're sleeping, it can make money for us. And to do this, we're gonna have to do a ton of digging and research. What? You guys don't think ChatGPT is part of research? Come on, you're using AI to trade, you might as well use AI to research too, right? After hours and hours of research, my very big team of one person just realized that this is gonna be the best algorithm, and here it is. If you think it's bad, you can roast me in the comments. We will give our agent the latest stats of Dogecoin. This includes 24-hour percent change, volume, and current price. We will then feed this into the AI and tell it to analyze these stats and make a prediction on whether to buy Dogecoin. But there's a catch. Every 5 minutes, we'll be looking at Elon Musk's X account and scan his latest tweet. If it contains the word Doge, then we will tell our AI agent to buy Doge no matter what the other stats say. Because history has shown when Elon talks about Doge, it goes up, even if the world is crashing. To create this agent actually place trades and monitor the price of Dogecoin, we're going to have to connect to a trading API. After hours of painstaking research that even a PhD student would struggle doing, my very big team of one person realized that Coinbase API will be the trading API we'll be using to actually place trades or make our AI agent work. I mean, after all, it is the biggest crypto trading software out there. But there's something we're missing. Remember, part of our algorithm is scanning Elon Musk's latest tweet. And in order to do that, we have to connect to a Twitter/X API that will be able to give us Elon Musk's tweets so we can actually inspect them and see if the word Doge is in his latest tweet or not. Don't worry, we found an API for that as well. So now that we got our algorithm, our APIs, and our fingers ready to code, it's time to actually go and build this agent. So let's get to it. First, we gotta hop on this Coinbase portal and make our API keys. So let's call this crypto agent, and we're gonna first copy the API key name. So let's do Coinbase API key equals, oops. And I'm gonna delete this after this video is over, so please don't try to hack my account. Okay. All right, so here is what we gotta follow to actually install everything. Okay, so we got this installed. We just copy this. We'll change the name to Coinbase API key. All right, so now we got our Coinbase linkage. I believe this should be working. Let's test to make sure we got our agent connecting to the Coinbase API. Yep, here we go. All my account data. Too bad it's blurred for you, so you can't steal it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the actual wallet balance. Now I'm using GitHub Copilot to make my life 1,000 times easier. So let's do clients equals account. Okay, and then convert this to a dictionary. Accounts. All right, so we have all the account information printed out. And we gotta look for is a USD wallet. So which is right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna iterate through this and find which account has the USD wallet as a name. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the balance and then the amount. So yeah. Available balance value. So available balance value. Right there. Cool. That works perfectly. So right here, we're gonna use this function to get the current price of the coin. This function is printing out this product variable, which is all this information right here. And in it, we can see that it has the percentage change in the past 24 hours of Dogecoin, the volume percent change, and it also has some other information about the coin in its current state. So what we're gonna do is we're actually save all this information, and we're also grabbing the current price by just selecting the price attribute. So what we're gonna do is let's just return the product itself, and that way we can just get all these details of Dogecoin and give it to our AI agent and be like, you decide what to do. All right, so we have the code to write a sell order, a buy order, and get the wallet balance, and get the current price of Dogecoin. But now we actually also have to get one big key component of all of this, and that's Elon Musk's latest tweet. Like, how on earth are you supposed to grab it? Now, I did mention we have a API called Tweepy that I've heard of in my research that actually gets the latest tweets of a user, but I have no idea how to use it. ChatGPT told us this is how to use the Tweepy API, so I just copied this directly from ChatGPT, and that's the benefit of having AI to help you code. But this will allow us to grab Elon Musk's latest tweet. But now let's actually test this, because imagine it just doesn't grab anything. That would be pretty tragic. So we just do this, and yeah, here goes nothing. Cool, so Tesla has potential to be #1 by a large margin. Is that his latest tweet, guys? This actually is Elon Musk's latest tweet. Okay, so we successfully grabbed Musk's latest tweet. So this is what I'm going with when it comes to the who am I, as well as the prompt for the model. So say your helpful system that decides whether to place a trade for Dogecoin or not. And we're basically telling it that, hey, we are scalpers. We're trying to go in and out. We're not long-term investors. So please just give us a yes or no whether to buy this coin or not. And then based on yes or no, we're going to take that. And if it's a yes, we're going to call this function the buy order. And if it's a no, we're not going to do anything actually. In that case, we're just going to sit on our hands. Let's run it and see if we get a proper yes or no. All right, too many requests. All right, cool. So now let's run it. So even if this, crashes for whatever reason, it's still going to be able to proceed. Okay, so you see right here. What? All right, looks like it's another error. All right, what the hell? Okay, so I made some changes where instead of creating the OpenAI client in the way I just imported this OpenAI package and passed in the key like that. And then I just changed my response variable and I just included everything inside of it to make it much simpler. And let's see what happens. All right, so we got the too many requests. Looks like this Twitter API is kind of cooked, not gonna lie, but all right, looks like it said no. This is smarter than me. This is actually a very solid reason not to buy Dogecoin right now. Okay, so it looks like our AI is pretty smart. Like it's not doing too bad. All right, so we have our yes and no's, but now you actually have to make a function that's gonna place a trade based on if it's yes or no. Okay. Wow, it did it all for me. That was actually insane. But we're not gonna place a sell order if it says no. We're just not gonna do anything. So if yes is in AI response, we're gonna place a buy order. Let's return the price at which this was bought. So we're gonna do in this buy order function, let's return the current price. Now we're gonna do basically right here is when we place this buy order on the smart order. So let's say bought at equals this. Let's return the price at which we bought it at as well. We're gonna say, well, let's say what they say. While true, bought at equals place smart trade. Well, this looks pretty accurate if you ask me. Shoot, we might be dumb, boys and girls. Every 5 minutes, we're gonna check whether we wanna buy Dogecoin or not. Once we sell, let's wait for a certain amount. Let's wait for 5 minutes before we place another trade. All right, so if we're at the profit of 4% or more, we're gonna sell. But let's say we're actually down a lot. How about let's say say we're down 15%. Yeah, we're out. We got it. That's our stop loss, guys. 15%, we are out. Let's hope that we get a good result. Return answer. Almost forgot that. That went pretty bad. Here goes nothing. So it's been a couple of days and the bot's been running. It's buying Doge, it's been selling Doge, but did we actually make a profit? Well, for context, Doge kind of fell off a cliff these past couple of days, but hopefully the bot was smart enough to only buy Dogecoin when it was supposed to. Now, before we see how much money we actually made, if you want the full script of this bot, then check out my free school in the description below. Our agent made a grand total of, drum roll please, $67. We're rich. That was amazing. Now you only have one thing left to do, and that's take action. I have a mentorship program where 65 plus mentees have gone on to learn how to build and sell AI agents, make over $200,000 in profits across the board, and are now making more than their full-time job. To join and not miss this limited time opportunity, click the first link in the description below. It is first come, first serve. And if you want to see how I built a $195,000 AI agent, see this video next.